Hey guys, how's it going? Edward Heavy Cardboard back. So we're playing Maria tonight. So if you'll give me a second, actually, I'm going to set up the chat to where the chat will be available down in the bottom right hand corner down there. But we're going to disable it until the teaching is over, and then once we get started, I'll enable it. So with that said, just give me a minute, and then I'll introduce everybody. All right. So, cool. All right. So I am joined with Ash again.
Hi.
And actually, you guys heard Brian in the Roads and Boats episode, but you didn't actually see him. So,
Hello.
Brian. So, I figure I give them a chance. You guys obviously know who I am. Give them a chance to introduce themselves just real briefly. So,
Yep.
Ash.
Hi, my name is Ash Jackson. I've been on a couple of the feeds now, a couple of the podcasts, and have been playing Maria now for a month, and have been loving every game of it.
Yeah, because we've been doing this for Game of the Month.
That's right.
And tonight might be the last night of it, so we thought we would live stream it. Brian?
Brian, I've never been on the podcast or the stream, although my voice has been heard and I've been mentioned on the podcast.
There you go.
Never been on it.
All right, and had either of you guys played this prior to the Game of the Month this month?
I had never played it before, had always heard about Friedrich. Its reputation preceded it.
We'd played it a couple times.
Yeah, we had, that's right,
with
yep.
Chris Stimson a 3 years ago now at this
right,
point.
yep, totally. Cool. All right, so Ash has the most experience with this, and I guess I should apologize because of the live chat that we're going to be doing down in the bottom right-hand corner. I actually had moved the laptop from where it normally lives, so that's why you guys have to deal with the lights that are going to be behind me and why I'm wearing my black hat to try and absorb some of that light, so I apologize. The good news, though, is once we're actually playing, this camera's going to switch to the overhead camera to where it's just the board and everything, and then you'll hear us, and mine will stay up, but it'll be small in the corner. So, without further ado, Ash, take it away. It's all you.
So the game we're playing tonight is Maria. It's the game of the War of the Austrian Succession, which began in 1740. So think flintlock muskets, artillery a little bit. In the war and in the game, the major powers of Europe are fighting over who will become the next Holy Roman Emperor, back when that actually mattered. And this war actually kicked off a period called German dualism, where the Prussians and the Austrians vied for primacy over Germany for about the next 100 years. The game is designed specifically for 3 players. There's rules for 2, but we're playing...
It's a 3-player game.
It's a 3-player game.
Yeah, it totally is.
And so the players tonight are Maria Theresa of Austria, played
Hi,
by
nice
Edward.
to meet you. Hello.
Frederick the Great of Prussia, played by myself. And Louis XV of France, played by Brian. The game's considered a lighter war game, and possibly even a gateway war game.
A Waro, kind of, right?
A war Euro.
Yeah.
And it's important in that way because it includes rules and considerations for supply of your armies, which is central to basically every heavier war game out there.
Worth its salt, anyways. Yes,
truly.
Totally.
Something unique to Maria is what's called the schizophrenic player. My role, on the one hand, literally the one hand, is playing Frederick of Prussia, who is allied with France and set against Austria.
Boo.
On the other hand, I control the pragmatic army, which is mainly the British and I think a couple of Dutch folks, maybe 2 or 3, who are here allied with Austria, ostensibly. And so my role is competing with itself, and so it's the schizophrenic role of the 3-player game.
Usually played by the most experienced player. Usually kind of is the balance, because if Prussia...
It's a lot to keep in your head.
It really is. And while we're all pretty even, honestly, because of the way the board's set up and our setup here is how this got determined.
Sure. So that you were face
so
up.
That I would...
Face up.
Exactly. That's it. So
yeah, and we can talk more about that at the end. The other things to consider... Oh, sorry. So tonight we'll be playing the advanced game, which is considered kind of the main body of the rules. The alternative is the introductory game, which is much limited. The goal of the advanced game is to empty your pool of victory markers. There's other ways to determine victory if that doesn't happen before the end of the 4 years. The game is played over a period of 4 years, from 1741 to 1744. And there's several different phases that each season, spring, summer, and fall, will go through. There's the politics phase, the hussar phase, and then the action phases. First, for Louis of France and their minor allies Bavaria. Next, for Frederick of Prussia and their minor allies Saxony. And lastly, but not leastly, for Austria and their minor allies, the Pragmatic Army, or the British, as I'll probably refer to them. Now, we can go up top, and I'll show you what the map looks like and some of the features of the map. So, in the advanced game, we play on both portions of the map. This is referred to as the Bohemia map, and this is referred to as the Flanders map. You can see dots and lines. Dots are towns, and sometimes a town may have a fortress. Sometimes the fortress may be a
major city.
Which has rules implications. Occasionally, a city may also be a seat of the electorate of the Holy Roman Empire. And in addition to that, the lines you see, some are bold, major roads over which, as you guessed, armies move faster, and minor roads over which armies move not so fast. The colored areas of the board represent the geopolitical situation of the time. You have blue Prussia here, green Saxony here,
Silesia
under surprise attack here.
Yeah, right.
Home Austria here in white. Over here in the Flanders map, you have red France. You have gray Netherlands, representing, again, the Pragmatic Army and their support areas. You have the Austrian Netherlands, which was still a thing at the time.
Which is so weird, the fact that Austria is completely
bifurcated.
Unrelated.
And what's amazing to that is here in the middle are the provinces of the Holy Roman Empire, wherein you had checkerboard states and principalities and baronies, all with different interlacing political ties. And actually, in the designer notes, there's parts of this part of the board which are technically Prussia, but because, for the sake of the game, are not marked as such. The pieces you see on the board, the wooden cylinders, are generals, which we have secretly assigned a number of armies. We did that before the game, so you didn't have to watch us.
And to give you guys an idea, over numbers. There you go. Yeah. So there's my starter one. Make sure those guys can't see.
I know his armies
now. Yep. All right. Cool.
The other things you'll see are wooden cubes, which are our supply trains. Again, supply being crucially important both in this game and at the time. The other pieces you'll see on the board are victory markers. White for Austria, blue for Prussia, red for France, and gray for the British. As I said, the goal of the game is to empty your pool of victory markers. Seen here on the edges of the board, Austria has a lonely 3, which will soon be not so lonely.
Right, because I start with these 5 in Silesia, which are quick to fall. So I'm 3 points from being able to win the game.
3 points from winning.
It ain't going to happen right away.
Not right now. Prussia has a great pool, as does France, and England has a smaller pool. The last thing that we're going to show you are the cards.
In fact, here are some. I'll actually show you guys.
Well, he's showing you all
the non-hand cards, since you have your hand already dealt out. So, go for it.
So the cards are the four suits of a deck of cards. They range from 2 to 10, with a wild card, Reserve, which can be any suit, and a value as you declare it from 1 to 8. These cards are used not only in the battle stages, but also in the politics stages. These cards are also spent to recruit new troops, replace new generals who are removed from the board due to battle loss, and also replace any supply trains that any unwary monarch may lose in the course of the game. The other map feature that I haven't discussed yet is the overlaid grid of the suits of cards.
Yep.
You can see here the heart, club, spade, and diamond, and that's overlaid the entire map. And that comes into great importance in the battles. That's really where the meat and the heart of this game is, because when you're battling, you play cards based on the suit in which your army is present. So if we were having a battle here between Friedrich de Grosse and Niepering,
I'm playing hearts.
and I'm playing clubs. And woe be to you if you're in a battle and don't have the right suit.
So you're not only worried about tactics and being able to come in to the right area and fighting the generals that you want to fight, but you're also concerned with what area am I in as far as what cards do I have in my hand. Oh, I don't have hearts. Let me try and draw him back here to clubs where I have a handful of clubs, that type thing.
And that's really it. And so for the rest of the detail of the rules, kind of the guts of the game, we're going to teach it as we go.
Yeah.
And so everyone has their cards. The cards have been dealt. The map and the game have been set up. And so we're going to start our very first politics phase.
Yeah, so real quick. So this has a static setup. As you see it, this is exactly how every game of Maria is set up. It's written out very clearly in the rule book. This over here is the politics board, which we'll get into, and as far as playing our cards up there, so on and so forth. We have some other decks of cards that are off camera that really don't come into play until we need them, so we'll cover all that as we go. To be honest with you, a couple of reasons we're doing it this way. One, it kind of makes more sense so you guys aren't sitting here for a 45-minute rules teach. And the second thing is it's Monday night and these guys do have to get home eventually, so we do have to get playing, so it kind of makes sense. So these are the cards that are still in the deck.
Yep.
All right.
And so we're going to conduct our first politics phase. The major powers conduct politics, that being Prussia, France, England, and Austria. We'll deal out 2 politics cards.
All right, so here, I'll do them. Normally, they're going to go out here by this, but I'll go ahead and bring them out here.
And excuse me while I organize my hand of cards.
And real quick, the politics cards are split into 1741, 1742, and so within each year, they're shuffled, and then you know that these are the 1741 cards plus the 2 that are face up. You just don't know the order in which they're going to come out. So the first card we have, and you guys are going to have to forgive me. Oh, wait, before we do that, let me turn the chat on.
There we go.
So let me move that out of the way so you guys can see it. So there we go. Hopefully the chat comes up clear. This is our first time giving that a go. This way, people watching after the fact will be able to actually follow the chat. So if you don't want your mom seeing it, maybe not say it. So all right, cool. All right. So
my mom did watch The Roads and Boats the other day.
Did she really?
A little bit.
That's awesome. All right, cool. All right, so the cards. I'm going to butcher pronunciation, so just deal with it.
Well, these cards are easy.
Well, it's War of Jenkins' Ear and the Swedish-Russian War. So you want to explain them?
Sure. So when we've been playing, we've just given the titles before and read the. There's flavor text here. You can't really see it because it's in 3-point font. But what these cards do is for each individual card, the major power who can interact with the card by either playing it or trashing it is shown here with their symbol. Then the political or game effect is shown at the bottom. If you engage the card, you must do everything on the bottom half of the card. So, the Swedish-Russian War, whoever wins this card or bids the highest can move Russia either way and moves Italy to the left. Over here on the politics board, these implications become very important as the Russia track affects Prussia and possibly getting their 4th general. The Italy track affects France and Austria.
Right, yep.
And can hamper either one depending on if the Italy track goes poorly for them. And these are kind of abstractions of the minor theaters that affected the war here in Bohemia. Also on the board is Saxony, which is very tasty and represents a nice little convolution of the game. And we'll get to that as it happens. So the 2 cards that are on the menu, War of Jenkins' Ear, is England, France, and Austria. If it takes effect, it is 1 less card, or in the game they're called TCs. For France, And the Italy tracker can move either way. The other card is Prussia, France, and Austria. Russia can move either way, and Italy moves to the left. So, in the beginning, in a normal politics phase, whoever most recently won a battle will name a suit in which any cards
Trump.
used to bid must be played.
Right.
However, in the first phase, we flip over a card to determine that Trump suit. So,
All right, so one more thing real
Sure.
quick. Also, at the beginning of the game, I said it was a static setup. Every faction starts with their own... everybody gets their own hand of cards. So you can kind of see off board a little bit up here by Ash's. He has 3 powers to start, and they have their own sets of cards. It's from the same deck, but when he's fighting and doing things for Russia or for Prussia, he can only use Prussian cards. When he's doing stuff for Saxony, he can only use Saxony cards. So Prussia starts with 9, Austria starts with 5, and France starts with 3, I think? 2, okay. But Bavaria starts with 5.
Pile. 5.
5, and the Prags start
Pragmatic
with...
and Saxony start with 3 each.
Cool. So that's how we start with our hands to start with. So we're going to deal with Trump, and Trump is spades.
So now what each major power will do...
And this card gets discarded,
yes.
correct? All right.
So what each major power will do is play face down a card. They can play any card onto the politics board. However, if it's going to count for possibly purchasing a politics card, it must be in the named suit.
But it doesn't have to be in a named suit. And tell them why that is, why you might play something else.
So, you don't have to play in the named suit, and that's called bluffing. You can bluff a card, and when the cards are revealed, if it is not in the suit, it simply returns to your hand.
So you're giving up information that people know you now have the 4 of diamonds, for instance, but it looks like, Prussia's playing for a card, and we see what these 2 cards are out here and what they do. But you can elect to just pass.
You may elect to pay no cards. The other there's minor considerations for kind of edge cases within politics, and we'll get to that when they happen.
And does it go in that order?
Yes.
Okay.
All cards are flipped, and then...
no, I'm saying as far as the playing of the cards.
Sorry.
We've all just kind of done it
We played it simultaneously.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Do you want to throw that on for France?
Yep.
All right. And Austria's going to throw that out. So place your bets. Who's who? Who are you betting on?
So
if you're a smart person, don't bet on Austria. Okay.
Oh, strong cards from Austria.
Oh,
Everyone played in suit. I am
Look
shocked.
at that.
Shocked.
Everybody's
Shocked.
wasting space. Oh, it's a little hard to see, so hold on. Take my word for it. That's something I didn't
That's
plan
not
for
helping.
because of the sleeves.
The gloss.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
You
But
want
we
to
have the
flip
4
light
of spades, 4 of spades, 7 of spades, 5 of spades, 8 of spades.
So
everybody played spades.
So now we resolve the cards in their rank. No bluff cards were played, so none of them return. So, Austria, you played the highest card. Select one of the cards on which your symbol appears.
Which is either of them, or both.
And tell us your intention with the card, whether you plan to use it or plan to trash it or discard it.
And
you won't take the political effect yet, but you just declare your intention.
Okay, so I'm going to take the Swedish-Russian war here, and we're going to trash it. No, actually, we'll be able to offset it with Jenkins' ear. So we're actually going to take Jenkins' ear, and we are going to activate the card.
Okay, so that's next is France. France. This card has been selected. So pick a card with your symbol on it and tell us whether you are.
I will definitely activate that card.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, what's going to happen is he's going to get 1 minus TC. He's going to move Russia one direction, and the Italy marker is not going to move because I'm going to push it to the right. He's going to then push it to the left
With a net 0.
Right.
Exactly.
And then I get to move the Russia marker to the
I assume
left.
you're moving it to the left. Thank
Okay.
you. Prussia
To
thanks
help.
you.
All right, and then
Great
so I move my card or move mine, so it goes here, and then he pushes it back,
Right. Yeah.
and then minus 1 TC.
So there's a little -1 marker here, which probably can't even be seen. But
Right there you go.
It is-
Actually, you can. Here, it's.
Oh, there you
go. Let's see. There you go. -1, and
that just goes on top of my power
there you
card
go.
here.
Right.
And that effect lasts for 1 turn.
This turn only.
Right.
Correct. Do you want me to read the flavor text or no?
Up to you. I know it means a lot. Go ahead.
It means so much to me. The War of Jenkins' Ear. Robert Jenkins, captain of a British merchant ship, exhibits his severed ear to the British Parliament. This is seen as the ultimate proof that Spain is boarding British ships. England declares war on Spain. And that affects France because of the geopolitics. Filled with, Swedish-Russian War. Filled with the hope of reestablishing her Baltic Empire, Sweden declares war on Russia. The boldness of Swedish noblemen is greatly augmented by large French subsidies. So, these cards are activated. They are placed out of the game into the politics discard. The used TC cards are also discarded. And for...
Those stay, don't they?
No. Once both politics cards have been selected, all remaining cards on the display there come back to their owner's hands.
So
what you can do is you can choose to pass and not either activate a card or discard a card to save that card for future political plays.
There you go.
So that's the politics phase, and now we move to the next phase, which, for anyone taking care at home, is the Hussar phase. Austria has 2 Hussar pieces, which I didn't explain before because they weren't on the map, and they're used primarily to block supply. The way they work, as I'll explain as Edwards is placing his, they're placed 4 spaces from any in-supply general. And if they interdict the supply of an enemy army, then the owner of that enemy army must pay 1 TC, or 1 card, for each space, for each general. So, it won't happen yet.
As an example.
I
can't do that because it's more than 4 away from my general, but
it's a good teaching example. If he were to place a Hussar here, he would be blocking this 2 general stack. The distance is 1, 2.
To the supply train.
And then per general, so I would owe 4 cards.
Or 4 TC worth.
Excuse me, 4 TC worth for that. Yeah, sorry, not cards. 4 TC's worth to keep that general in supply.
Now, I don't claim strong proficiency in the game, so bear with me. But so it has to be within 4, and if anybody steps on any piece that isn't a general or a general, it comes off the board. So these don't have a whole lot of use right now, but they can remain where they are, or I can replace them.
Correct.
So we're actually going to come up here. That's going to make a big target, isn't it? But you're only allowed to move 3 off the main road. 1, 2, 3. So actually, we're going to go right here.
And for anyone keeping track at home, don't worry. We're going to explain how movement and all of that works as we go through each player's action phases.
Right there.
Okay. So that's the Hussar phase. So now comes France's action phase. So France gets a new set of cards, which is shown on the little, on the little player card here. So France gets 4 new cards.
-1 because of the politics card.
There you go. So he only gets 3.
4.
No, but no, his -1.
Sorry.
-1
Sorry. So ordinarily would get 4. Bavaria gets 2. And this represents the subsidy France is paying to Bavaria for the first year of the game. Thereafter, it's optional for France to continue subsidizing Bavaria's imperial claims. So, now Brian's going to go. He will be moving the generals and supply trains of both Bavaria and France. And here's how movement works. And feel free to take your turn as I'm pointing and explaining. Generals will move on roads 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. If all of their movement is conducted on a major road, they'll move 4 spaces. Supply trains will move 2 spaces. And if all of their movement is on a major road, they can move 3 spaces. Easy for generals to outpace their supply.
And last but not least, as far as movement, if there's you can do such a thing as forced march, which is if it's entirely on a main road, and there are a little bit of sub-rules to this here, but on a main road, you can move up to 8 spaces.
Correct.
As long as all of the movement is on a main road.
Right.
All right. So
I'm going to go going to take
Yeah, go ahead and walk through your turn.
Moritz here and go 1, 2, 3.
But not all of it was on a main road, so
right.
he could not
So
force
that
march.
first step is on a small road.
And could not move the 4 spaces either.
Right. And then I'm going to go...
While Brian's thinking, you guys can see the split between the two map sides. The only two powers that can move between the two sides are France and myself in Austria, whereas the Bavarians stay on this side of the map only.
So I'm going to move General Malaboy over here, 4 spaces up the road there.
Because that was entirely on a main road,
Yep,
so
I get
therefore
+1.
4.
The supply train is just going to move next door right there. And then
you cannot jump your own pieces.
Correct.
Right.
So that's why he doesn't
Order
want to
and
bring that further out to Nancy, because then he blocks that.
Correct.
Right.
And then General, I'm going to butcher names here, Noales, which sounds Spanish.
awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Sounds
not quite
awesome.
French
All right.
maybe, but you know.
If you guys have questions, feel free to ask.
And he is going to go 1, 2, 3 towards that elector city there.
So, as Brian moves to the Bavaria or to the Bohemia map, you'll see he has a stack of 2 generals here. Generals may stack 2 total if they are allied or the same country, and they stack such that the higher number general goes on top.
Meaning the one closest to the number 1 or 0. That.
And, sorry. The lowest number, highest ranking.
There you go.
All right, so I'm going to move...
And you can stack and unstack at will.
That's
as
correct.
long as they have at least one army
Yes.
within each.
I'm going to move this one 1, 2, 3 onto this city here.
Which
Talk about capturing cities.
So ideally, he's trying to capture these to be able to turn them for France. Capturing is as simple as walking over a city, as long as it's undefended. Undefended is you have your generals not within 4, is it?
They exert a zone of control of 3.
3.
Yes.
3. However, it's when you go
When you
off
exit a
of
fortress,
the
you
so
capture it.
if he were here and he moved 1, 2, 3, he landed on it and came off of it, then that would become for France. But as it is right now, it is still Austrian, because the Austrians are very strong, but also because he has not left it. The moment he leaves it, unless I am within 3, boom, it becomes French. He gets to put a victory point marker out there.
And capturing those fortresses on the map is the primary way that you get your victory markers out of your pool and onto the map to win.
And we'll cover
There's
the
other
others.
minor ways,
yeah.
but
All right, I'm going to move the supply train 2 to follow
I figure
that.
the first turn will be slow here. And,
Yeah.
Cool.
And then we're going to move this supply train 1, 2 to Regan there.
if we explain everything now, we've just delayed the 40-minute rules
I
explanation.
know.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'll go 1, 2, 3 to catch them up there.
Okay, so that's France's action stage.
Now it's Prussia and Saxony.
Now Prussia and Saxony.
So cards. Okay, so this is all that's left in the deck. And go ahead.
So Prussia will get 3 cards, please.
3.
Saxony will get 1.
So we have 1 left. When this deck is exhausted, we have 4 identical decks, just the back colors are different. So it's just once one's exhausted, we start the next. But they're identical decks.
So
Yeah, good call. There was one other thing that... Oh, and I don't know if we mentioned this. Please, take your turn.
thank you.
I don't know if we mentioned this while Ash was going through it, but when you're in your own home country, you're always default in supply. Mm-hmm. So all the white pieces are always in supply, even though he is nowhere near a supply train. These guys. However, the moment, say this stack steps into Austria, or actually, there you go. France is in Austria. He must be within 6 of a supply train, and it's traceable through any route that he wants. So obviously he has 1, 2, where he's good to go. He also 1, 2, 3. He could go that way. That's good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good to go. So obviously he's plenty, and it's however you want to count it, which is obviously the shortest way possible. Mm-hmm. Then unless the Hussars come into play, then you might want to count a different way so that you're in supply and you don't have to worry about taking it. There you go.
So I was delaying my move because here's a great example of capturing a fortress. I'm on a major road. I'm commencing my move on a major road. 1, 2, 3. Upon exiting this fortress, it is flipped to a question mark. No generals within 3 spaces. And
even though the Hussar is, he's not a general.
He's not a general. So he is instead, that fortress in Breslau is captured. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4.
And that stays Austrian because he hasn't left that yet.
He's not departed that yet. So this supply train will make its major move. 1, 2, and stay there. I saw you.
I was hoping, because if he moves here, this Hussar then potentially will be able to move up here and maybe put him out of supply.
And the other thing about movement is that once you begin a unit's move, you must execute its entire move. You can't make partial moves and kind of shuffle traffic around. Part of the game is taking control of your traffic and your logistics. So let's make sure that I can escape Hussar involvement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't like this because Edward could technically block me if he places a Hussar there in Breslau and there in Oles. I'm out of supply, and that's bad news for me.
He's not yet. He's just what I could potentially do next turn.
Not yet. Something that's a part of the action phase that happens at the very beginning is you check supply of your armies. In the beginning, it's not a consideration because of the static setup, but in the next action phase for the summer, we'll start checking supply for all of our armies. One, 2, unless I move elsewhere, that's my move. You know what? It's a teaching game. It'll be good to see me pay TCs. Because it's gonna happen. Now, I'm excited to try something different. Watch this. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Okay. And again, because they're aligned or they're
allied.
Allied. Thank you. So the 1 goes on the 3. Even if he'd moved that first there, then he would have put that 1 on top. So
the thing to consider when combining generals is when they combine, they end their movement, even if they have additional movement points remaining. Once 2 generals are part of a larger army, they may pass army points between them effectively freely. You may reassign these numbers of armies that we secretly wrote down between those 2 generals effectively at any time.
And real quick, so Austria starts with 28 armies. France starts with...
France has 26 and Bavaria has 5.
Okay.
Prussia has 22. However, 6 of those are here with the Alta Dessau,
who is not in the game right now.
Off the map in an observation army.
And that's because of right here, that's why it starts off the map. Or actually, it started here, but now he's working it towards this way. The moment it comes here, he's back from, where is he overseas?
He's in Russia. He's observing the Russians to make sure they don't get out of hand.
Gotcha.
Saxony starts with 5 armies, and the Pragmatic Army starts with 14.
Split up between all our respective generals.
Yes, that's right. Split up between generals.
I have 5 generals, so I have 28 armies split up however I want. There's some min-max. There's stuff
generals
like that.
Must have 1 army attached to them to be on the board. They have a maximum of 8. Asher wanted to leave.
No, did you let him out?
Yeah.
You're like a ninja. I didn't even see
I tried.
that.
Thank you.
All right.
I tried. So that kind of shows some of the behind the scenes stuff that happened before the game started, part of the setup. So that's my move for Prussia. That's my move for Saxony. So I'm done.
All right.
There's no battles that start. So now we move to the turn for Austria and the Pragmatic Army.
And does Austria always go first, or?
So that's a very good point. After we get our cards, Austria gets 5, and the Pragmatic Army gets 3. They move simultaneously, and up here in the Flanders map, they might step on each other's toes. And if that cannot be decided, they must take turns moving. And that kind of represents those armies weren't really all together on each other's side.
So to be clear, this is mean Ash against Austria. This is
nice.
Ash that's working with Austria.
Right.
All right. So, how many cards do we get?
You get 5. I'll
okay.
take 3, please.
So, here's 1.
Yep.
So
now Edward begins dealing from the next deck.
So
there are 4 decks in the game.
1, 2.
Once they are dealt out, you begin
3,
to the next. Yes,
3 to Austria, and how many to the Prags?
No. 5 to Austria, 3 to Prags.
4, 5.
There you
1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
All right.
Once the deck is dealt out, the new one is begun, and once they are all exhausted, you then follow the rules to shuffle them together, which will bore you now and will interest you when it happens.
And refresh everybody and mine for the reserve.
So, the reserve, when used in politics, counts for 16. When used in battle, counts for 1 to 8, a number you declare when you're conducting the battle. And that will matter. You'll see how it works both in the battle once we have one. But just good to know that it's a wild card and is effectively the true trump card in the politics phase.
All right, so we're going to move real quick. This Ardberg, right? Arenberg. I can use the Prague's supply train. Right now, I'm in my home country, so I don't need it. But the moment I step, say, 1, 2, I would need it. And I can use either of those supply trains for Austria. So we're actually going to... He's plenty far away enough to where I don't need to worry about him stepping on my supply train. We're going to go 1, 2 for the supply.
Thank you so much. And now I can begin moving.
Yeah, exactly. Being a team player.
Got out of the way.
All right, so...
go ahead and explain your turn, and I'll just make my moves.
Actually,
Or do you want me to...
No, I'm actually... So I start on a major road, so I can move 4.
Correct.
So we're going to... As long as all of the movement is 4. And looking at my hand, I'm good with this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There. So I'm done over here, so I'm going to focus on here while Ash is doing his.
And here's a great example of a force march. George II and the Duke of Cumberland are way back here in Diehlitz. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get into the field. I silently moved my supply train here, and I suspect we're going to see some good battles there in the summer.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3. So you're not only worried about supply and worried about where you're moving and fortresses and everything, you can't forget about what suit cards you have and how they represent the different suits out here. So we're looking at there. 1, 2, 3. So he's got a stack of death here.
Oh, no.
2 generals.
Surely not.
So we're going to actually just go 1, 2, and that actually protects both of these fortresses here because it's within 3. So even if he were to step off,
Kniepering would protect these fortresses as long as he remains within 3 of these fortresses. If I were to, in my next phase in the summer, move up, attack him, and then force him to retreat, a feature of battle we'll get to when it happens, he would then cease to protect those fortresses.
Potentially, depending on where he gets moved.
Depending on how the battle
All right,
goes.
so he's done moving. The Hussars don't move. We're actually going to bring the supply train over and across for 2, and then we need to bring these guys up. So the obvious move here is 1, 2, 3 to get it onto a major road to be able to do a forced march. Tron here starts on a major road, so we can bring him up to 8. And looking at the... Oh my, I put a lot of armies on him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. Yeah, we're good with that. We'll bring him up to ends. And then our supply train, keep in mind, can only move 2 because all of this area is just crap as far as roads. Well, you're up in the mountains. I mean, it's Austria, right? So
it's a little heavy.
If Tron's considering coming over here to take over any of these 4 cities, I have to get the supply train up. But obviously, Brian's going to, have something to say about that. Plus, he's got all these guys to try and take over these, but then he leaves his rear unprotected. So this is the shorter route, and it's 6 for your to be within supply. So 1, 2, 3.
Well, you're
4,
still
5.
in home country.
No, I know. I'm just explaining,
Sure.
even though, like you said, I'm in home. So this is the shorter route to get onto a main route. Rude. Carl
All
has
out.
not moved, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Bring him up, and that's all my movement. Austria is complete.
All right. So, with Austria's completing their action stage, pragmatics as well, we now move our little time marker from spring 1741 to summer.
Playtime during game of the month so far has it been for you guys? About 3 hours?
2.5 to 3 hours, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay, 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, once we had the rules down.
Yeah, and both the games that we finished in the third year.
Okay, all right. So obviously this is going to run a little long because it always does because of the stream and stuff.
So
yeah, all right. Go ahead.
now we have a new politics phase.
Woo!
So, Edward, if you would please.
So no one has had a battle yet.
Right. No battles yet.
So therefore we.
Which is unlike our last 2 games.
That's true.
Okay. So we flip over and we have spades again. That is Trump.
Who
So this
shuffled these cards?
I have no idea. Wait.
You'll
they
want
were
to keep
supposed
those
be
discards
shuffled?
separate.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
So the
Yeah.
4 decks of cards, you'll keep the discards separate, and as you play them, you'll wind up with nice big piles of slit
there you
cards.
go. All right.
So we're playing spades for these politics cards.
And because it's still 1741,
We're dealing from 1741.
we have Naples and we have Denmark. So this card here, if you want to,
Sure.
go for it.
So in these politics cards, you see again the powers who may interact with the card. Prussia is not present. The Denmark card gives additional troops and TCs to the pragmatic army. The Naples card moves the Italy track one more towards harming Austria.
Boo.
And so now we will all play cards into the politics.
And as a reminder here, spades are Trump. Or spades are the actual bidding suit for this.
Throw that on France.
France.
So one of those I'm a fan of, even though it's not me, because the pragmatics getting armies is good for Austria. So I like that. And in theory, you would think that the pragmatics...
You can count on the pragmatics to purchase the card.
Right. And then my thinking here is France may care for this. They may not. It's not really a huge deal one way or the other. So do I want to spend any potential spades to do so? And...
It's important to note, too, on this card, only 2 of the major powers have
yeah,
access to
only
that
you
card.
and I. Yeah, only
it.
France and Austria. So if I were to win this, I would just throw
You
it
would
away.
trash it, yeah.
Right,
You would
it's
Because
almost
if I would
offensive.
win it, I would
So
totally move that track.
Austria elects to not play a card.
Okay.
All right. And the Prussians aren't playing a card because they can't win one because
Right.
they don't have one of their major power isn't on there.
But this is the case where they could play one
If I were
for
being
building
canny,
up for future.
Oh wait,
future
that's right. I forgot
politics.
about that. Good call.
Now,
See,
the
and I'm a little
the
rusty.
thing I'll point out, though, is if both of these cards are activated, any leftover cards come off the display.
They come back, but they come
Yeah.
back home.
Yes.
Okay. So actually, okay, Austria is going to play this, and that's the last card, right?
Yes.
Prussia is going to? Or
Prussia's not going
Just
to
not
play.
going to play, right?
So here you go. All right. So again, because they're a little hard to see because of the sleeves. Actually, wait. We can do it that. Pull it down a little.
There you
So
go.
I played a 3 of hearts, which is not going to help me for this, but potentially will help me for the next one.
If it sticks up there.
Right. The Prags. Wow.
Prags want that
Played a
card?
reserve. So that's a 16 in Trump. So needless to say, unless this is a reserve, which I highly unlikely, the Prags are going to choose that card. And, there we go. France bluffed and played the 2 of clubs. So the Prags start. They're the only ones that chose a card. So obviously, they're
I'm
going
picking
to get
Denmark, and I'm activating it. So I will take a +1 TC, and I will also thank you very much, take 3 additional armies to be assigned in secret.
Which is 12 TC's worth of armies. So
If
that
you
is
were
a
purchasing them at
massive
winter.
amount.
Yes.
Yeah, that is huge. So this reserve comes out, goes into the discard. There, and then
now
these stay.
Now we're at the case where both of those stay.
Right. And explain the importance of that real quick, since
So-
this is the first time.
Those cards will remain on the politics board.
And again, I'll keep them down
Right.
so you guys can see them a little better.
France and Austria will have the potential to use those in future politics phases if the Trump suit, matches the Trump suit of that politics phase. If it doesn't, it comes back to their hand.
So we're banking cards on the potential,
effectively.
but it doesn't cost us anything other than information, as well as I'm one less, or we are
opportunity
one less
cost of
card.
We
using
have,
that
we have
card.
one less card in
Correct.
hand. Absolutely.
All right, cool. So there we go. So thank you.
So now-
That's why we can't
And there
have
goes
nice things.
there goes the electorate of the Holy Roman
And now we
Empire.
know why I haven't been on the show before.
Oh,
No. All right, cool. So make sure all those. Nope, those are different cards. So you know what? We'll
There
turn
you
them
go.
sideways, make it
Yeah.
easier that way. Okay.
So now now that politics is finished, we have the Hussar phase for Austria. So
All right. So within 4, I could keep them where they're at, or I
Yes.
can move them anywhere I want within 4.
And
1,
here's where you're
2,
gonna be
3,
sad.
4. So this guy is certainly moving to there. And then this guy could stay there, or 1, 2, 3. He can't move to Olau because there's no road right there. Yeah, I probably do want to move him because he's not doing anything, and he'll just step
And
on him and make him go
To
away.
point out too, Hussars are playable in this
Oh,
theater
good
as well.
call.
Technically
now,
playable
I'm
there.
fully within my home
Yeah.
territory, so it's not a big deal. But
Right.
they are playable over here.
Good reminder. Thank you. So we are going to move this one, and we have 4. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 3. That's within striking distance here. 1, 2.
I mean, that's
3.
the thing. You don't lose anything if an army
Understood.
dispels them.
Understood.
Yeah.
But 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go and put that there. Hussars are placed.
Okay, so now it's France's. Excuse me.
Oh, you don't have to worry about checking
I
supply,
check supply
until
at
your
the beginning
turn.
of my
You're
own
right.
action
Yep,
phase.
good
So
call.
now we have France's action phase. France gets their allotment of cards. Now they get their 4.
Because he doesn't have the -1, because the -1 that he got from the card
Was just temporary.
1 turn.
And then 2 to Bavaria.
And again, it's off camera, but you guys can't see it. These cards are going into their own decks.
Right.
The Bavaria card deck got 2, or hand of cards, not deck. So yeah, there you go. Yep. Cool.
And here you can see the wealth of cards I get to manage.
Yep.
All right, so
That's
just
what you
to,
get for being schizophrenic.
just to point this out as well, because I don't think we've really done supply. I do have
There you go.
a unit or a general army out of my home territory, so I have to trace supply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good to
so
go.
I'm okay there.
Yep.
So we are going to.
While he's going, what do you guys think of the audio, the video? Can you guys see everything clearly? Do you like the chat on the screen also? Because this is the first time we've been doing that, so trying to think of people in, as they come later. But yeah, give us feedback. Let us know. Brian?
So this train is going to move to Metz.
Okay.
Right there. We're going to move Morris 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to Reims.
Because that's all on a main road.
Yep. And then we're going to make a death stack. Get 2 armies combined there. Okay.
And he can move in. Go ahead, keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
He can move in any action, in any order that he wants. So it's just important for him to keep track of who he's moved already. Usually we try and do it systematically,
Yeah.
just to make
So
it
Noalis
easier.
here is going to move 1 and then 2 out of the electoral city. So that is going to flip.
So that is Trier.
Yep.
So Trier now flips here. So that is not victory points.
Nope.
But they are for the election, which will happen in 1742.
Yep.
And the whole reason for that is to get a victory point for either France
Right.
or Austria.
Correct.
So right now, Austria has 3 votes, France has 4, and there are two others in these.
That's Saxony and Prussia.
Right. And they vote with...
Everyone casts their votes
That's true.
as the election happens, but generally speaking, Saxony and Prussia are allied with France, so they're going to vote for Louis.
So in other words, the only thing that is voting for Austria is Austria.
Yes.
So I'm right now down 6-3, but again, I have time to make that up.
Right. All right, so I'd only moved 2, so that was 1, 2, and I'm going to move 3 and put one of my markers down there right there.
A consideration, you'll note the flip side of these markers are both white and gray. If the Pragmatic Army captures a seat of the electorate, it flips and is considered jointly controlled by Austrian Pragmatic.
Right.
So there is.
All right, so that's my movement over here. Over here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep,
and now
in the
Igor
process
is captured.
Boo.
That goes there.
So he still has a ton to get out
Yeah.
here, so I'm not
France has
stressing
a lot.
about it. Yeah. See, does anyone else think of Santana when we mentioned the game on the podcast? Maria.
See, I was thinking West Side Story.
Okay.
1, 2.
You told me
That's
not
the
to
next
hand it.
line. That's
Yeah.
the next line of the song, actually.
Yeah.
I like the chat on the screen. It's useful for watching the recording later on. See what you're replying to. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Sean.
You
Everything
told-
sound and look okay on y'all's end as well?
Yeah, now that we've explained the game, make sure everyone can hear.
Yeah. Oh, I had it on mute. No.
Oh.
All right.
All right, so France, Bavaria are done moving.
So now it's the action phase of Prussia and Saxony.
So even if we were to end up battling or whatever here, he doesn't have to worry about supply until the beginning of his next turn.
action phase.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
So may I please have 3 cards for Prussia and 1 more for Saxony?
3 for Prussia.
Thank you.
Uno cardo for Saxony.
Uno cardo. So I don't know if y'all can see my cards or not, but I'm trying to show them as I get them so you can
They
see
can kind of. I'm not looking at them.
the
to
power
look at
disparity
them,
between Saxony and Prussia.
Cool.
Prussia is swimming in
Yeah.
cards.
Russia needs to do something with that.
but seriously,
Russia
like
needs
he's
to
gonna
do
have to
something.
get a sling,
Yeah.
to hold all the cards. So Andrew says, looking and sounding great. He says, sounds good. Cool. Thanks, fellas.
All right. So I'm going to move this stack of doom, as Edward
So
called it.
while he's doing this, so Amanda actually, whenever Asher makes a cameo on the videos, she's actually putting that as a
Tag.
timestamp. That's
Asher
awesome.
cameo.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm just trying to talk to throw off the Prussians. No.
So
Go ahead.
as I exit Brieg, 1, it is going to flip to a question mark. Because, no, it's captured.
That's captured.
Yeah, because I'm not
He is
within,
not within 3
to
of that
keep a
fortress
hold
to
of it.
protect it.
So, like I said,
1,
I had no chance to hold that.
I should actually look at my... And here's where the overlay of the suits of cards comes in handy.
Because we're both right now in
He's in
hearts.
I should look at what cards I have in hearts.
He just fans out a ton. So the important thing to mention as far as how battles work, if we are adjacent to one another,
A battle happens.
a battle happens.
And it will happen. So we'll get to explain it as we go. So that was first movement. Second movement, as I exit Nisa, it flips to a question mark because it is within 3 of the Austrian General Nieper. So now we'll also see how hussars are dispelled from the map.
Yes.
If any unit, general
Oh,
or
hold on.
supply
Did you
train...
check your supply beforehand, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. All right. Just checking. All right. Put
Just
them back. All
gotta
right.
keep 'em
cool.
honest.
All right. Good.
Those Prussians. So, hussars can be dispelled by any enemy unit simply, as Edward said, by stepping on them.
All right. So my hussars come off the board,
He
but
doesn't
only
lose
to
anything.
only
Only
to
to
reappear next turn. Right.
So that's 1, 2, and...
And the reason he's checking multiple ways is if I place hussars out there, can he then manipulate around the hussars to be able to count supply?
And Breslau seems like a nice place for a supply train to camp out. So that movement is finished. This will be a battle in hearts.
But he finishes that the battles happen at the end.
All
Yes.
movement occurs. So yeah, the breakdown of the action stage goes like this.
And by the way, there's a really good player aid, which we'll link to in the show notes here. So
they're great.
Yeah,
here's
really
the main
good.
one, and then the vertical formatted one are all the special cases.
Yep.
So the action phase go, you get your tactical cards, you check your supply, you do your movement, you do your combat, and you check any retroactive conquests, which is the game's terminology for this little fortress that was marched through but still under protection
because of that. But if I lose the battle, I have to retreat, then maybe I'm not.
If he is out of that protection
then
zone,
he takes it
then
over.
I conquer that fortress.
Cool.
So this
not
combined,
really cool, but you get the idea.
There's a road south out of Gorlitz. That's useful. That's good to know. 1, 2, 3. 1.
Oh, come closer. Come on. Come on. Come on.
You know, I guess we'll see how it works. Yeah, I mean, you can technically block it. We'll stay in Gorlitz. That looks like a nice spot. So, we have a battle here.
All right, so he's done. He's done. His turn is over as far as movement goes.
Movement is finished. So now we conduct a battle. I'll state the
We must
state the strength of our armies.
At any point, real quick, I can ask, how much do the Prussians have? And the Prussians would answer.
Interesting.
You would have to tell me we have 20, however many?
Just total period?
Yes, total.
Oh, interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So we have 22.
Okay, and I have 28
total
between all of our generals.
Interesting.
Now, nothing else, any other
revealed.
detail is revealed except a battle.
Now, as a battle, we initiate by each stating the strength of the generals we have present. My Friedrich and Schwerin stack is combined 12.
All right, and Nieper is 6.
Is 6. So, Edward begins this battle at -6. He will now play cards in the suit in which the battle occurs to try to exceed that negative to turn the negative to me. And when he does so, if and when he does so, it's then my turn to play cards.
Right. And it's important to note here that tactically losing small battles,
not so bad.
Not a bad idea. Having huge, drawn-out, massive battles that empty your hand of cards, crippling. Mm-hmm. Very, very important to remember. So I'm at -6. I'm now at +1. And it has to be hearts because we are in the hearts. Both of us are in the hearts. So +1. So he's at -1. I'm at +1.
Yeah. And we've kind of been using the vocabulary of -1 to you.
Yeah. All right. Your honor, sir.
Yes. And so now I'll play my 6 of hearts and say -5 to you.
And I will play a reserve, which is a wild, which can be any number 1 to 8 of any suit. We'll make it an 8. So that's going to be -3 to you, sir.
-3 to me. Okay. So here's where I get to be a little tricky with the cards that I have. This brings it to -1.
Which means it's still his turn to play cards.
It's still my turn to play further cards. And this makes it -9.
Using my own card against me. So, that's dirty.
That's dirty. It's low.
The thing to consider that's now going through Edward's head, if the battle were to end now, Edward would take a loss of 9 units. His army is only 6. That would eliminate the entire strength of the army, and the general would exit the board.
He'll come back on
unable
next
to return
turn.
until the winter.
Or until winter. Good call, right.
So he now has the choice to try to bolster his strength, to reduce loss, or to exceed the 9.
And this is where an interesting tactic could have been, to where maybe making this smaller than an 8, to where maybe it was only -1 to him. So if he plays the 10, it's still a big deal. But if he plays the 2, I only lose 1.
Right.
Yeah. So
And the alternate, too, is you could have gotten yourself to -1 with the play of the wild card as well.
And stopped.
And taken, I'll take a small loss.
Which in hindsight, I probably should have. So I'm at -9.
You're at
right
-9,
now?
correct.
Oh, Lordy. That is a massive stack of cards.
And here's where I did a little research on the War of Austrian Secession. And one of the quotes from Friedrich the Great, or Friedrich der Grosse, was, "The Prussian army always attacks."
All right. So it's going to put us on the run if we do that. Yeah, there. Could do that. And, oh,
I'll show you what Edward sees. How many of these are hearts? How many of them can be hearts? He's a poker player. He can count.
So I'm going to play
There's
that as an 8. So that's -2, and I'm going to call it there.
Okay, so Edward he accepts a loss of 2. He marks it on his army sheet.
All right,
which I'm sure he'll show
so
you.
here, without these guys seeing
Oh,
this.
I'm not seeing.
Right.
I don't know where that supply train was. It was on some major
2
road.
off of the start.
Two off of
Off of the start.
Off
section.
of right here, so it was right there.
Yeah,
It was
right
log
there.
nets.
Oh, got
Sorry
it.
about that. All right, so I'm right here. So that was Nieberg. So he was number 5. So he was a 6.
Excuse me.
He's now a 4. Okay, so this is just on the honor system.
Oh.
Which, let's face it, if we're board gaming, anybody that's cheating
You're already
in
on
this,
the honor system.
yeah,
You're out.
exactly, yeah.
So now that the battle is concluded and one side is retreating, which will always happen unless they are eliminated altogether.
Right.
The attacker, the victor, no, not the attacker, the victor
There you go.
will choose the route of retreat. So his distance of retreat is the same as the losses he took. So he will retreat 1, 2. And that plays perfectly into me because, excuse me. No, it doesn't. He will retreat 1, 2.
There you go. And the reason is, if he retreats me to here,
He's
1,
still
2, 3,
protecting
I'm still protecting
Nisa.
that. Whereas now I'm 1, 2, 3, 4 away, and I'm out. So this goes away.
This now begins the retroactive conquest phase. We check now any question marks. If they're not protected, they are now conquered.
Yep.
And this will bring in. My turn is done. As you deal out cards for Pragmatic and Austria, I'll explain. One of the primary strategies for Prussia is to try to seize Silesia, as Prussia did in 1740.
5, right? Yep. Okay.
Once Prussia captures all the fortresses in Silesia, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total. They start having already captured 2.
call.
It was a sneak attack. Once they do that, the Prussians may offer Austria peace, and with some side benefits from having a small reprieve from the war. Did Pragmatic get 3, please?
Oh, no, they did not. Sorry.
I'm your ally.
I know, I forgot. Now we're friends again.
Hey, we're friends
Hey,
again.
how you doing?
We're friends with the right hand, not
Yes,
the left
right.
hand.
Yeah, right.
Well, I need both hands to hold
The
that
right
giant
hand.
stack
The
of
right
cards.
hand is
Yeah.
the strong hand,
Yeah.
and yeah.
The right hand's not talking to the left hand right now.
I so want to go a different direction with that, but I can't, so I'm not gonna.
You know.
No, it's best. Just move on. All right.
So, are we going to be conflicting here, or can we go about our business?
Yeah, go for it. That's
Okay.
cool. So, my hand of cards after
This
my draw.
This looks scary. 2 Maliboy and Norlitz together. That looks scary. Norlitz, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something else to consider when moving generals is that you may backtrack. So, for instance, if I wanted to stay within my supply, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a perfectly legitimate move to capture the fort at Lee, and then maybe soft pedal a little.
Yeah.
1, 2, it's a supply train, and 1, 2, 3. You know, I probably could have kept moving past Lee. There's no need for me to be soft-footed about this.
I'm okay with you log jamming yourself up there.
Yeah, you know. 3. It was for illustration. 4. It's a teaching game. Does that excuse work? It's a teaching game.
Go with
Kinda
it.
when
Yeah,
it's a
go with
learning
it.
game? Okay, super. Thank you.
Do enemy fortresses stop force marches? I can't
Yes,
remember.
they do.
They do.
So, If
you see where I'm going with
Ehrenberg
this,
wanted
right?
to force march this away, he would begin 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop.
Before he reaches
before
it.
he enters the enemy fortress, or an enemy piece. Any enemy piece exerts a zone of control of 1. If he were to force march heading south past Bastogne, 1, 2, 3, and would stop there.
Because I can't get there because it's within 1 of where he is. Yeah,
Right.
Put that back. Thank you.
Thank you.
5, and that's Armberg. So looking at this, yeah, I'm cool with. I hate the fact that you're going it alone over there, but I can manage. And friendly generals do not block supply trains or tracing supply, do they?
Correct.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking is what I'm thinking about doing is 1, 2 here, and then 1. And I can count it this way as an example. So 1, 2, and call that good.
Okay.
And
now, also consider that Ehrenberg may trace supply from the Pragmatic Army supply trace.
Cool,
So
right.
you are doubly supplied,
Right.
as it were. Not that that's a thing, but
and
you are assured of
that's
supply.
1, 2, 3. Hold on.
Oh.
Let's bring it back there.
Okay.
Well, yeah. After the loss over here, I want to spread. Let the Prags take a little bit for the team. All right, so we're done over there. Gonna move in over here, and again, looking at hand of cards. There.
It's not looking good for Austria. But it never does in the beginning game.
Right.
Austria starts having been subject to surprise attack and breaking of treaties.
And kind of like backpedaling a little. And,
beset by all the armies of the world.
All right.
I mean, slight hyperbole. Almost.
All the armies of the world that mattered at the time.
The Japanese may have something
1,
to say.
Yeah,
2.
that's probably true.
Wait a minute before we do that.
And Spain feels a little lonely.
Spain
when you
feels
say
left
that.
out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm a little foggy on my mid-18th century European history, but I think Spain might have been a puppet of France in some capacity
Probably
at some
around
point
that
in the
time.
century. I forget. I really needed to read more Wikipedia today. I had to do work.
So you're saying next time we need to play Virgin Queen.
Yes, positively.
There we go.
Oh my gosh, can we?
Yeah, we've played it twice, and it was a lot of fun. I
Good.
really liked it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
It helps. They
And what I'm thinking here is I cannot stack 3 high, 3
Right.
generals. It's only 2 high. And Tron is blocking him to be able to
Force
make
march.
it. Well, he can do a force march of 7, but I would like to maximize it at all costs. What we can do actually, because we don't have to work. My big thing is I want to stay away from this stack with Tron here. And so if I were to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that leaves me open by moving 3, 1, 2, 3. But actually, I would be able to play both.
What would happen would be, as the attack, if I did such a thing,
Right, yeah.
the attacker gets to choose which battle to do first.
Okay. But it is
And
2
if there's a
individual
second,
battles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if I won
If
the
there's a
first
second,
one
yeah.
and didn't retreat myself,
Right.
then there would be a second one.
Okay. And again, looking at my hand of cards, I'd really be okay with that, but I can't imagine you're going
That's
to.
assuming he runs it right into the buzzsaw.
Right.
Right.
It's like,
Which,
that doesn't seem like a trap at all. Let's go there.
Yeah. It's a trap.
Exactly. It's always a trap.
It's always a trap.
actually, we'll do it a different way. We're going to go 1, 2, and he's going to stop there. Reason being, we're going to bring this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so that if he decides to act a fool to come in this way for the same reason, I don't
Sure.
think he will.
Right, because I'd be in between two armies.
Right,
at the same
exactly.
time.
Right. So now we will move the supply train up onto the main road. So down here is done.
Having only played Austria once, I'm enjoying
you
getting
know
to
what?
see competent and good
Well,
Austrian play.
I don't know about that.
Well-
so real quick, I forgot to do my hussars.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh,
I
so-
played Austria.
No,
first.
Hussars happens before all the action phases.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
not
You're
the beginning of yours.
You're right.
No worries. These lights are
Warm.
a little warm. I came straight from work. It's time to roll up your sleeves, Prussia.
It's business time?
It's business time. And by business, I of course mean shooting flintlock muskets as fast as you possibly can.
Once every 45 seconds. Or 30 seconds, I do believe was the goal.
Supposedly, this guy, your father's general, if you're Friedrich II, got them shooting 5 times a minute.
Wow.
Which
That's crazy.
is craziness. Supposedly.
That seems
All right,
impossible.
Nieberg's going to be backtracking a little bit. 3, either way there.
Oh, I want that supply train. That nice juicy supply train looks so
moving.
tasty.
So,
I knew you wouldn't leave it hanging out there. Or if you did, it was for a trap.
And
because the thing about those long drawn out battles is Edward now knows that I'm played 3 hearts cards.
right. And actually, we're going to bring Carl 1, 2, 3
to stack.
there. Nieberg's moved and 1, 2. Makes me a little nervous. 1, 2. No, he can't. So he cannot force march to be able to get to my supply train here because 1, 2. Oh, he can't go here because that's protected right there.
And actually, the Hussar piece also would interrupt a force march since it is a piece on the
If
board.
it were along the major
Right,
road.
but the fact that it's 2 away, it wouldn't. But
Right.
if it were here, it would. Correct. Good call. So Austria's done moving.
Okay, so that's the end of the summer of 1741. So, boop, we move to the fall, and we move to another politics stage.
Okay.
Um,
So we got some politics cards here.
yes, and so we need to actually keep track of who won the last battle because it now
You
matters.
did. You did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So
So there's one.
yep.
So this is going to be
Military aid ? And Karl Emanuel I.
So, Karl Emanuel I is the one card that can move the Saxony politics to the left, more towards Prussia.
Which we don't want. No one wants that.
Right.
However, it does also push Italy the other way.
Yes.
And the military aid card will push France again.
Russia.
Russia.
to the left.
Thank you. To
Further tying up Dessauer.
right.
So,
Which because we can ask this, I think. Dessauer, what's his minimum?
Dessauer,
start?
yes.
You can
And
ask
this is
minimums.
known.
Yeah.
This is known.
It is known.
Dessauer's minimum is 6. So
Okay,
of
so
my
that's
22 troops, 6 of them are
Minimum
sitting
of
there
6, if not 8, but it's 6.
in
It's 6.
in Ost-Prussia.
All right. So now, trump card. You choose the trump
Keeping
card.
in mind,
choose the suit.
there's 2 cards out there, just to keep that in mind as well.
Thank you.
All right. So while you're doing that, let's see. Jeff Hayward asks, "Hey guys, I'm a bit late. Have to rewatch. Because of the recent Roads and Boats plays, if you could only own one splatter, what would it be?"
And
Yes.
as he's doing
The
that,
answer is yes.
I'm going to show you my cards that I'm considering.
That's like
Prussia and Pragmatic.
That's like asking which
the
is
suit.
your favorite kid.
And so the suit will be diamonds, gentlemen.
All right, so diamonds is trump. Well, partially did that because so we can't use these cards that are out here. Clubs and heart. Oh,
I'm sorry to
he's
screw things
wavering.
up.
It's Ash.
No, I'm not
Oh,
not wavering
okay.
on diamonds.
All
It's
right.
diamonds. Pragmatic. I forgot to take my
All right.
extra TC. There's
Gotcha.
that.
Last
Sorry.
turn. Yeah.
There
If
we go.
only there was a
If
marker
only there
to
was a marker
remind
to
you.
remind you of your rule breakers. Go figure.
Which
Remember your rule
which
breakers.
dude? That's impossible to answer because it depends on the mood of which. I mean, sure, I could be cheesy and say, oh, the Golden Elephant Award winner food chain. But to be honest with you, all 5 games of the main 5 being Great Zimbabwe, Antiquity, Roads and Boats, Indonesia, and Food Chain are all amazing games.
Now, not to interrupt.
Please
you,
go ahead.
2 small missteps here. These are played from left to right.
Okay.
Oh, they are.
Ties are resolved from right to left.
Meaning I win ties.
Austria wins ties.
Yes. Okay.
And cards that are out of suit that are already here remain. They don't come back to your hand.
Okay. Cool.
So when you're banking these politics, these TCs for politics, they stay until the suit uses them.
Okay, all right, I'm cool with that, and that's
So-
why we don't mind really losing low value
So
cards.
here's France's card.
Okay, so France is placing that. Obviously, this 2 is going to stay there since diamond is trump, and the Prags The Prags cannot win any of these, but they could do it to bank a card. And you said diamonds, right?
Yes. As in, not what you have banked.
All right.
So,
and there.
Once we've played, we flip and find out what's going on.
So,
and just to remind you of the procedure, any card not in the suit is returned.
Okay.
And now we resolve them.
That's right. Well, that's not true.
Not true.
That's not true. That stays.
No. Yeah. To start, a card out of suit.
Then how do you play these originally?
If you played them in suit and both politics cards
they were out of suit.
They were out of suit.
Double check real quick. No, it's all right. It's no big deal. I'd rather get it right. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
For anyone playing at home, the politics section is buried back in segment 17, as it is part of the advanced game.
All right, let's see. Luke says, I'm so glad you guys are recording this one. I picked up Maria a few months ago. Fantastic price, but have yet to get it to the table. This will be the push I need. Yes, push. Exactly, yes.
So,
cool. All right, good deal.
17.4.
Yeah.
After all powers have placed their TC, turn them face up. A card not of the political trump suit is returned to the hand of the power that played.
Okay, France.
No. Previously played TCs remain.
These should have been brought back to our hand last hand because these were off suit.
Oh, were they out of suit?
They were.
Oh, sorry.
So,
I hadn't kept track.
All right, our bad.
Yep.
All right.
Biggie.
Okay. So now we resolve them by rank.
So if that's the case, so if Austria should never bluff.
Effectively.
There's no point in it.
There's no, because, look at what card I have and just put it back in your hand. There's no reason for Austria to ever bluff then.
Well, and you're probably not swimming in cards such that you would ever be entertaining the idea of bluffing. Maybe.
Anyway, continuing.
So, the cards by rank, 6. Picks first. 9, excuse me.
9, 4, 3, so Prussia chooses first.
I know. Golly.
Yeah, they're both good for you.
Actually,
one's good for you, one's not good for you, which is why you would dump it.
This is bad. This is good. However, does he protect or does he help?
What is France going to do? And I suspect that France may throw that out, which is not great for me, but helps France. I'm going to discard this card.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I'm selecting this card. I intend to discard it.
All right, then we come to the next highest, which is 4, which is France. France.
Obviously, I select that card.
Okay, and what are you going to do with it?
Discard it.
Okay, so both of these are getting discard. Much ado about nothing. Politics is over, and all of these go into their respective discard. No, sorry. The Prague stays because that's on suit. There we go.
Sorry, I thought those other cards had been in suit.
Are we sure? Because that's the part that I still feel like...
There you go.
No, just double check.
Okay, because I feel like that's the part that
starts in point 4.
This is why we...
Yeah.
I'd rather get it right. It's no big deal.
Continue on. I'll just read.
Actually, Edward will now place his hussars.
So again, this one can stay. This one will come back within 4 of... Obviously not... 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. So if he were here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and we would lock him down, being out of supply. Cannot.
Well,
he can make it around this way.
Oh well, if you were just there.
Yeah.
Saber blocks that way. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, I guess that's a good point, isn't it? All right. So
I can't help but to help.
You're right. Yeah. Well, no, I'm rusty as all get out. So. That hurts France, but I mean, I'm against both of you guys over here, and I can't do anything for supply over here. I cannot stop you this turn, so I am going to hurt where I can hurt.
Sure.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that still doesn't hurt.
No, you got it.
No, because he's got
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, this one. I'm thinking off of that. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Sorry,
so he will be out of supply when we begin.
Not out of supply. I have to pay for supply.
Well, yeah, fair enough. You're right. Yeah. So it'll cost him a little bit of
2
pips.
TCs. Yeah.
4.
Double. You're right.
Right, because there's 2, and he's 1, 2 away, the shortest route. So it's 2 away per general, 4 TC. So that's either like a 3 and a 1, or
And if you overpay,
Right.
if you
You
don't
get
have
no
exact
change.
change, you get no change back.
So Hussars are done.
Okay.
France and Bavaria.
So just to jump back, I did find the section I was thinking about. So it says, this process of selecting or conserving is repeated by the major power within the second greatest influence, then the third, and so on. However, as soon as both political cards are selected, all major powers whose turn is still to come take all their TCs, including conserved TCs,
comes
from
back.
the political
Sorry.
display back to their hand.
My bad. I forgot to
I was
page.
pretty sure
No,
that...
sorry about that.
But so
We
the
played
only
it
way
right.
cards would stay out there is if people just choose not to do anything with the political cards. They choose to neither discard it or activate
Or
it.
activate it.
That's the only way cards stay out there. It seems so edge case that it would ever even happen.
Yeah.
It just is very unlikely.
Yeah. So in that case, where only 3 powers had played in suit,
Right.
Prussia activated a card. France could have just said, "I pass. I conserve
So
my
if they
TC."
pass, then they
Yes.
he
And
then he
And,
banks
and,
them.
and that's what it's called. It's called conserve. You don't actually
Okay.
pass. You
Gotcha.
conserve. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then pragmatic could have conserved as well.
Or choose it. Well, they
or-
couldn't have chosen the card because it wasn't a prize
Sure.
card. But if
So
it
then
were,
they
it
would be
could have.
conserving. Yeah.
Good.
Right.
All right.
Then they could have. Then they would have conserved. No, they couldn't select the card.
No, they
it would have-
They would have conserved.
They would have conserved. Yep.
If you can't pick the card, you're conserving.
That's your only option.
Roger that. Okay,
So,
cool.
now it's France's action stage.
So I have no tokens.
Okay,
So I
so-
get 4 for France and 2 for Bavaria.
1, 2, 4 for France, 2 for Bavaria, and we're almost through the second deck of cards.
Yep.
And I gotta look at my hand quick because that is how you decide what you're gonna do. Oh, supply. So now here's where I gotta pay for supply from
Right.
the
So
Bavarian
if
hand.
he goes this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would cost him 10 TC. So obviously, because there's no road there, he's going to go 1, 2. The Hussar's in his way, so it's 2 per general. 4 TC he owes to discard minimum.
Yep. So I'm gonna overpay by 1.
So he's paying 5 of clubs, and he is now good to go. The Hussars have done their
They
most
cost
important
me a
They're
card.
due.
Yep.
There you
They
go.
cost me a card.
Yeah.
All right.
Coffee.
Oh, there's a ton of good entries in wargaming, Andrew. There, the Black War Game series by Columbia Games. To find out if you like Black War Games, stuff like Julius Caesar, Hammer of the Scots, Richard III.
Well,
Crusader
even if you want to go
Rex.
a little simpler than that, there's Command and Color Ancients.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
That's
sure.
that's
There you
even
go.
simpler.
Yeah, good
introduction.
call. But Warros, I mean, you can make the argument about games like Twilight Struggle, whether or not it's a war game. I'm not going to debate that.
Wallenstein. Yeah.
I'm trying to... Sekigahara
Yep.
would be another excellent one, and that's in print now. Churchill being a political/war game.
The Coin series of games.
I wouldn't call them entry ones.
No,
Oh,
those
sorry,
are
sorry.
those are-
Entry
those
level.
are
Sorry,
pretty-
sorry.
yeah.
My bad.
There's also Warriors of God from MMP, which is a really good entry-level game as well. I know Academy Games has like their Birth of America.
Birth of America series, and now they're coming out with the Birth of Europe series.
So yeah.
I'm
So
going to move
those are all good
here.
choices.
1, 2, 3, and claim Rochefort.
Okay. Brian is now playing small-sized Euro games in Rochefort.
I was gonna say Rochefort. What? No.
Rochefort?
Yeah.
There's no need to really move that supply train, but I guess it can't hurt. Get it 1 step closer. Let's get it 2 steps closer just in case. Well, I mean, if I'm going to do that, I might as well tag along. I was here. I might as well go 1,
tag
2,
along.
3, and
Stay.
now the Hussars can't. If this guy chooses to come over here, the Hussars can't get me.
So
So over here, there is all kinds of fun madness going on over there.
I'm realizing a rule that I want to introduce for the sake of learnings. Where was that?
Oh no.
Oh, what's wrong?
Got some bummer news. I can't mention it on the
Oh,
air.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's that really bums me out, dude. Sorry. I shouldn't have just never mind. Don't worry about it.
All right. So we're just going to do
It's about a friend.
Oh,
some...
yeah. I guess we're on air, huh?
Yeah.
Pay
so I
attention to
don't-
the hand. Right. Pay attention to the hand. All right.
If it were me, I'd say it, but I don't
1,
want to.
2.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. We're back. Okay.
Hey, hello.
All right. Whoa, that was weird. All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Sorry. Continue. Nothing to see here, literally.
We'll blame Brian when
Yep.
it was
It's
when he moved
probably
his
my elbows. Yeah.
stack of doom.
Yeah.
There you go. Frankenfels.
Mm-hmm.
Just fun names.
Boy, this is really.
I wish I
what do
could
I
say
want to
them
do
all.
with this hand?
I wish I could pronounce them all.
I know. Pressburg. I
Yeah.
got that one.
Linz.
Right?
You know, that actually doesn't make any sense to do because I'm not capturing anything if I do that.
Right, because even if you fight this and retreat, this guy's
That
going
one's still
to
there,
protect that one.
I'd have to
Budweiser.
charge into there and beat both of them with. Seems unlikely.
It's the second time that's happened, huh? All right, good to know. Let me know if it happens again. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
That's new to me, so we'll. No?
All right. Well, you know what?
Those are good. All right.
1, 2, 3.
Uh-oh.
So we do put a question mark out there.
Right.
It's going to come off, but
It is because it's going to be protected
Yeah.
because of that.
But
Okay.
we'll do it.
Okay.
We can go 1, 2.
And just to
And
be
that
clear,
does kill
the
us,
supply train does not. If this were mine, this would not conquer it with
Yeah.
the supply
Correct.
train.
Yeah.
Only generals conquer.
Which
Okay.
makes sense.
Can't get me there. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice. So you moved through Pilsen.
Yep. So Pilsen is going to get. No, actually, Prague's going to be protected, right?
You're looking at one.
I'm sorry.
So 1, 2,
Jeez.
3 for now.
It is protected either way.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is that what I really want to do? Yeah. And then I need to move this train 1, 2 into Pilsen. Oh, I'm sorry. I left
you did.
Pilsen that turn.
Yeah, you exited Pilsen. I thought so.
I exited Pilsen that turn.
I thought
You're
so.
right. And just to display that out, France is down to only needing 4 markers, but 2 of those are coming back this turn, so it's not really that much progress.
And this is a great chance to mention one of the advanced rules for France that's called France reduces military objectives. At any point, France can say, we're reducing our military objectives. And any of their markers in core Austria come off the board. Half of them are set aside, and the other half go back to their pool to reduce the number of victory markers that they need to expend to win the game.
Now, the trick is there can't be any French generals inside
In core Austria.
Yeah, so clearly can't do it right now.
Right.
And
All right.
there's more details to it, but that's each power has kind of a special consideration rule that helps to drive their strategy a bit.
All right, Ed. Let's do
All
this.
right, game on.
Game
All right.
on.
So
We're both playing diamonds.
All right, so it's 3 and 4 for me, combined with Kevin Hewler and Bethany.
Sure.
Bethany.
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 8.
Betson.
10.
All right, so I'm at -2.
You're at -2 to start.
And we're playing diamonds. And just to show you guys that what I could do, what my options are here. We're playing diamonds.
You
Okay.
can show your hand to the sky if you want.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I actually...
Lean in. There you go.
As much
Gotcha.
as people that can actually see that.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
I will take the loss at -2.
Okay.
Always the best possible result. I didn't have to play a card.
And he won.
Yes.
Which, yeah.
So now I get to make a retreat too.
Keeps doing. I have no idea why
It's
that's happening.
probably my elbow.
Links,
Here,
maybe?
let me stop leaning on it. That's all I
Okay.
can think
Maybe.
of.
I can't. That has.
It might be
nothing
flexing
to do
the
with
cords or something.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near it.
We can call IT.
All right. So I'm going to
All
make
right.
you retreat too.
All right, so I'm losing 2, and I can lose them however I want between them.
As long as they both keep one army.
Right.
So the only time you can take the last army of a general is when basically you're down to 2 armies total.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to make you retreat 1, 2 off the main road.
Because I lost by 2.
Yep. That is the only combat I got in this turn. So we do retroactive combat or conquest check.
1, 2, 3. This one is in, so that goes
Yep.
away.
As
And
is
this
Prague.
one is 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
This one goes away. So it looked good.
It looked good for a
Yeah,
moment.
now.
You know, it's good for TV.
Made
Yes.
you feel good.
All right, so now Austria and Prague's cards for the Pragues.
No, now it's Prussia and Saxony. You wish.
Prussia Saxony.
I do wish. I just missed that.
So
Sorry.
Prussia will take 3, and actually, I'm going to explain one of the other rules. major powers, allied powers, may conduct a subsidy contract between them. And so it can happen between allied powers, major or minor, or major and major. Prussia is going to subsidize Saxony 2 TCs. So, 2 TCs for 2 turns. Excuse me. No.
Can you do 2? I thought you could only do 1.
No, you're right. Sorry. Exactly 1 TC of their
that's
income to the recipient. So, for 2 turns, Prussia is going to subsidize Saxony. So, here is a subsidy.
There you go.
And that's
Perfect.
to remind me that now, instead of 3, Prussia will take 2, please. Actually, mechanically the way it works is Prussia will have 3, and then without looking at them, gives 1 to Saxony.
There you go.
And then Saxony will have 1. I mean, the effect is the same, but
there you go. 1 card left, which Austria gets it before the Pragmatics get it, right? That does matter because new deck.
new deck.
Right. I'll look that up actually
Sure.
while you take yours.
Thank you.
All right.
Sorry.
No worries.
Let's see what I'm looking at here. How does this map shake out?
Yeah, it's really making me nervous. I have no idea why that's happening.
I'll just say they happen during my turns. So
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna-
it. May be, but that's
kind of
so
weird.
weird,
Yeah, it's
right?
very weird.
Unless it's doing something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me know if it happens again when it's not Brian's turn when he's leaning on the table. How's it? Let's do that. Oh, other way.
Okay. Oh, I'm over here. With 3 hands of cards and 2 theaters of war to check, it is occasionally confusing. So Saxony has a nice little stack of cards going. And a nice little stack of armies going. So, I really want to come
and
over
there is
here.
obviously no main hand
Yeah,
or max
hand
hand.
maximum. Yeah. Lord no.
Except for Prussia. I'm kidding.
Oh, that's what I'm going to do. So, the offshoot of generals combining into a stack is splitting generals. Generals may be split as long as they still have movement points remaining, either at the beginning of their movement or during their movement. So I'm going to begin by splitting up Friedrich the Great and Kurt von Schwerin. Schwerin is going to force march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Pretty good with the pronunciation.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was probably practicing.
It just sounds good. Yeah, he was. No doubt, he was in the mirror.
Speak authoritatively. It's all in the delivery. So that's 1.
There,
What
decision again.
Yep, I know. I saw that.
That's concerning.
After your turn, go grab Matt,
Happily.
please.
Yep.
It just says at the beginning of his action stage, every active power draws a certain... It doesn't say. But I would think it would go in order, so therefore it would be Austria first. We'll go with it.
Sure.
That's actually not a question mark. That's full on control.
That's full.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
1, 2.
Bet you it has to do with that down there. And that might be it. But still, I'll let Matt mess with it when he gets over. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. Yes. I don't know if I'd say it's good for a beginner. If you're an experienced Euro player, I think you can get through the rules. It might take a little work, but I think you can get there. Yeah, for Churchill.
Man.
Because it's a political game more so than a war game. Or as the designer of Liberty or Death, what's it? Harold. It's sitting right there, but I can't. Anyway, the designer, he says he very much feels it's a war game, just in a new way of doing the European theater. Well, actually, I guess technically it's both theaters with Churchill, but yeah, it's. I think it's more political, but again, we're splitting hairs. If it's interesting to you, and you play heavy Euros, I think you can do it. Yes.
Oh no, I'm
All right,
still
if
in
that
hearts
helps.
there. Still in hearts. Those gray lines are crucial.
They're not
yeah.
a crease in the board.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the one confusing thing to where it looks like this is the line. No, it's really this. This is just the crease of the board.
Can you tell what suit I want to be in?
Hearts?
Clubs.
We be clubbing.
So I just backed up that whole half of a move. Golly. 1, 2, 3. That's...
I totally... Oof. That could have been ugly.
You know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. 1, 2, 3. That's a question mark now. 1, 2, 3.
Which is also a question mark.
I'm not sure I want to move there. 1, 2. Yeah, why not?
I'm desperate for winter to come to be able to discard cards, to be able to get more
Resupply.
units. Yes.
So,
Are you finished with your movement?
I'm finally, mercifully finished with my movement.
Throw your...
Thanks.
There you go. Yep.
There it is.
Okay.
So, we have a battle. You are in clubs, and I am in diamonds.
All right. So Nieberg was previously at 6 and
Down
is
to 4.
down to 4. Right. Sorry. I had originally written 8.
Yeah.
During setup, I was like, no, let's make it 6. So yeah. So he's down to 4.
Friedrich de Gross is at 7.
Okay. So minus 3 to me, and I'm clubbing. You're spading.
Diamond.
No, you're
I'm
diamonds. Right. Again, that crease.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm at minus what? 3. There it goes.
Golly.
Minus 2. Sir.
Minus 3. Can you see? Yeah. Here, I'll put it where we can see.
Okay. Minus 2, you said?
Minus 3 to you.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh. Prussia is the left hand.
Play it right.
Yeah.
Play it correctly.
Minus 1 to me, still. Minus 7 to you.
Oof. So.
Minus 3. Minus 1.
And I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take a
Finally,
minus 1.
Austria gets a victory. Yay!
So.
Maria! You ain't got to go home, but you do got to get the hell out of here.
Yep. So,
Okay.
you now retreat me 1.
Right.
Feel free.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Exactly.
Right, okay. So I cannot retreat him here.
You cannot retreat through units.
Right. So, 1. So this actually will revert back because it's still
Through
in
retroactive
there.
conquest.
There we go.
These guys passed through there, but I knew it was going to be protected, so I just didn't put a marker on it.
Okay.
And these are all discards if you'll handle
I
that.
can handle those.
Okay. So Prussia is complete, right?
Prussia's turn is finished. So now
Alright.
it is to Austria and to the
In
pragmatic.
Austria, we're looking still at 5 cards.
Did you determine if Austria draws first?
It doesn't say. It says major powers, which
Yeah.
all of them are.
They're both-
so
Pragmatic and Austria are both major powers.
right. So we'll just do it in. It says Austria and the pragmatic.
Yeah,
so
I'm good with
1,
that.
2, 3, 4, 5. Prags get what?
3, please.
Okay.
3, sir.
Other hand. No, hold on. Thank you. We'll give it to the friendly ones.
Yes.
All right.
It doesn't help that I'm left-handed.
Well, yeah, if left is right. That makes 2 of us. All right. So first things first is have to check supply. We're all good over there. I'm in my home country here, so no worries.
Do you care to move Ehrenberg? Or is he happy as a clam?
Hold on. Let me see. Oh, do a little dance. All right. So Ehrenberg is 6.
He was in Valenciennes.
Yeah, I know.
You know what?
1, 2, 3.
Actually, I'm sick of being a gentleman.
That actually works out really well. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
Really?
Really?
Really? No, come south. come through here and you'll where is that? I can't read that.
Noyon.
Yeah, because you can move 4 on the major road. I cannot. And let me head towards Amiens from the north.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, and then 1, 2, 3.
Technically a question mark. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
Unless.
So.
And yeah, obviously I want you to move first there so I can move the supply train up.
Now, technically, I don't think you can force march through this because this isn't.
He didn't. He only moved 4.
with this stack.
Oh.
Is that correct or not?
See, that's the thing, is it has a marker on it, and so it is no longer...
It's contested.
It's contested, so I don't know if it's an enemy fortress or not. That's a good edge case.
That
very much is an edge case, right.
Here we go. Force march. Enemy fortresses and enemy pieces block a force march. Which now begs the question,
Define an enemy piece.
Define an enemy fortress. Correct.
While you're doing that, I'm going to
Yeah.
go ahead and focus
Feel free.
over here.
So,
All right. So we're going to put we're going to put a little bit of stress on Prussia. So with Nieperg, we know how many he has. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 and put the pressure on him over here.
a protected fortress is not conquered. It is merely a question mark.
Okay, so that is an enemy fortress.
So it is a protected fortress.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Because I'm within 2.
There we go.
That's
So you could force march up to here or
Uh,
there, which technically isn't even a force
up to
march.
it. Up
Up to
yeah.
it. Okay.
Which here, because if he moves 3, he still can't reach that, and then he can come back and double back and make Frederick his bitch. I'm kidding. Never mind. I'm just gonna let it go. And it is so important to remember what suit you have.
Especially
And
now that
that-
everybody has giant
And
hands.
now that I'm my rustiness is showing a bit on that. So these are moved. You're finished over here, right?
Correct.
Okay, I was just gonna bring him. Well, hold on. What do you have? Let me see. Can we agree that this can help out both of these, and I can help out?
You can.
Oh, you
can't help
I
me.
can't help him at all, but that helps me, right?
Do you want to take your move?
Yeah, because I can move 3.
You can go to lead.
Yeah, 1, 2.
Oh, yeah.
and-
Oddly enough,
Great.
where my poker chips for Mary Nostrum came from.
Oh, nice.
Asynchron is in lead.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Andrew. All right. We actually are going to come up this way. We can move 3 into clubs. Do we want to? Wouldn't be the end of the world. One, 2, just to stay on the main road. And 1, 2, 3.
And I feel like as Prussia, having not successfully conquered Silesia by the end of the year, that I've effectively failed.
You'll get it next year.
Well, we'll see.
And we're going to bring the supply.
Oh, you might start losing them though, I guess, too.
Maybe.
Depending when you
We have that one,
Resupply,
so we're going to go 1, 2 and keep that. And my thinking here is this supply train, for anybody that wants to move north, this supply train can handle that. Whereas this supply train, if I want to move out west, I can do so. Yeah, I'm good with that. So done.
And no battles.
Fini.
So now we move to the winter stage, and here's a new set of rules. So In the winter stage, we score the number of victory markers that are in our pool for all 4 major powers, and then we also purchase additional troops out of our existing hands of cards. And the way it works is additional supply trains, 1 additional troop, both cost 4 TCs. You make your spend, you don't get change, and you go.
Yeah. And I think this is all just simultaneous, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Oops. Let me move that out of the way. So, our IT guys here, this keeps flickering out. I wonder if it's that. The pressure that it's getting down at the base, down there. The fact that it's being pulled, or we can't figure out why.
This is right here.
Right there, it just went out again.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
So that's it. It's this.
The jiggling.
Okay. All right. Well, just be careful on the table, fellas, for tonight. We'll figure it out
Unless you
tomorrow.
figured it out, yeah.
Nope, it just died again.
No,
that was
the
earlier.
delay.
That was
That was the
earlier.
delay.
Sorry. All right, cool. All right, cool. Thanks.
All right.
All right. So sorry,
Bavaria's
guys.
going to buy 3 troops.
Okay.
And also, go ahead and please tell me.
And you
that
said they can be any suit, correct?
Yeah.
any suit.
Right.
It just you buy them in increments of 4.
Of 4, right.
And go ahead and tell me the number of victory markers you have.
6 for Austria.
Not bad.
That's actually pretty good, yeah. 6 for France.
Okay. Not bad also. Which means that
That's
And Austria looks like 7. I'm sorry, not Austria. 7 for Prussia. And 6 for the Prags.
That's actually a pretty even game then, after
Yeah.
1 year.
So, if this goes to the end of the game, and here, let me see it. If this were to go to the end of the game, whoever has the lowest number total for all the winter scoring ties, Austria wins all ties, France loses all ties.
Mm-hmm.
Boo.
Alright, so I need armies, obviously. I need a lot of armies. And what the interesting thing to note here is the fact that Austria gets its cards, or every major, every power gets their cards right before they act. So being Austria and the Pragmatic Army, they get their cards after everyone has already gone.
sure.
So any troops that I'm buying right now are cards out of my hand that I have to play defense without, obviously.
And also keep in mind, we're going to do a politics phase right after this as well.
Which also may take cards
and
out
who
of
won
my
the
hand.
last battle?
I did. Thank you very much.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's also a good question.
What?
How much do I have space for?
Yeah.
You can't buy more troops than you have room to hold them.
Oh, must be nice.
Prussian world problems.
You're right, seriously.
Saxon world problems, thank you.
Oh, okay. France is going to buy 5 troops.
Saxony is going to buy 3. So, here's these. Discard for Saxony, please. Yeah, I guess you can look at them if you care.
I do, actually. They should be face up, right?
Okay, yeah, I think so.
All right. Hearts and clubs. All right. So multiples of 4. France is going to buy 4 units.
You mean Austria? I
When
mean,
I
I'll
say
take
France.
4.
Austria. Maria
Oh, there you go.
will take, that's 16, so 4 troops. Cool, I'm glad Matt had his phone with him. At least could tell me I'm nuts.
You're nuts.
But no, it's that
That
guy. So
connection.
we're going to have to check the connections in future days. So 4 troops. Okay. All right. It's terrible handwriting, but I can make it out, and that's all that matters. All right. So this isn't going to probably do you guys any good, but if you can make that out, you can see where I distributed or where my current values of my generals are. All right, so Austria is rests.
Okay. Okay, so yeah. Prussia is buying 5. I have another army to fiddle with.
There it goes again. Man, this is maddening. I'm sorry, everybody watching. That's the same one from previous there.
Mm-hmm.
At least they're short, but man, that's annoying as all get out.
It's definitely a short in the wire or something.
Yeah, it's because it's adapter to camera. So, but this is the first time I've noticed having that problem.
Yeah, so I've never seen it in any of the other
So,
ones. Oh, we had a question mark that should have come off here.
Yep, good call.
So, Prussia.
Add plus
7.
Yeah, 7. I got it. Prags, thank you.
Prags,
I'm like, wait, no, Prussia's already at 7. There we go. So while we got some downtime, if you guys have any questions about the games, thoughts, opinions, whatever, feel free to chime in while we're waiting for the pragmatic army to resupply.
They have to come across the channel, man. It takes a while.
It should cost more than. Am I right?
Yeah, right? It keeps doing it. Thanks. Any ideas why, though?
Shorten that cable
Pragmatic
or it's
will resupply 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, still got the boxes, I hope. Well, if not, Amazon. Yay. All right. How many did they get?
6. Spinning all hearts. Not that that's of concern to you, but it's of interest to me.
Wow. All right. That's a lot of hearts. Okay. So.
For you. Oh, there we go. You can still see.
Yep. There you go. All right. So we're into 1742. We go. Okay. So.
Spring of 1742.
If you notice, we've used all the 1741 cards. So we use them all. So 1742, we get 2 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Good?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. So we have the Hessian Mercenaries, which this is the pragmatic French and Austrians. It's get 3. Your major power gets 3 troops.
Yep.
Oh, and the election.
So, the way the election works, it says it on the card, but we'll just go through. Hold this card and draw a replacement so that there are, as usual, 2 politics cards face up.
The French get a ton of troops
Yeah.
here and card,
Yeah,
and they
this
actually
is-
get a vote.
Yeah.
And
So, the way the imperial election works, you hold this card, now put it face up on top of the politics cards. At the end of the current turn, the current season, you elect the emperor.
okay,
we'll
so
get
we
to.
know the election's going to come here, but it doesn't happen right now. So now here we go. So I'm the last one to win a.
And Prussians is not.
Russia is
either of those.
absent.
Interesting.
Oh, it
Again-
is. Oh, it
again,
is.
a
Yeah,
no
that's
Prussia
right. No
politics round.
Prussia. Interesting. But the pragmatics, the French, and the Austrians. So looking at this,
Suit, sir.
yeah. We'll go ahead and do puppy toes. We'll do clubs.
Okay.
So the Prussians are first. The Prussians
Oh.
abstain
Yes.
because they
sorry.
can't win a card.
Oh, that's right.
The
That's
French.
right. We play in order.
And leave looking at the wrong hand of cards here.
Oh, So when we moved the studio,
Mm-hmm.
one other benefit of choosing the room, the other
room that you
room that we
chose.
did was specific. It tends to be cooler in that year round anyway.
Nice.
So I figure with the lights it makes
That'll
sense.
help.
So yeah. The Prags, would you like to play a card?
I would like to play.
And I said hearts, right? No, I'm kidding. All right, puppy toes it is. All right, so Austria plays Friedrich. Wow.
Oh, score.
Wow. All right.
So, the non-suit card comes back. The bluff card, rather.
All right, so then highest value, so you guys can see it. That is a 10. That is a 3. So I could either get 3 troops, or I keep the French from getting 3 troops, an extra card, and
Well, this is already French controlled, so it doesn't.
oh, and it's
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 this
Mannheim
one
specific.
Yeah.
So okay, so basically, I could either keep him from getting an extra
card.
card, or I could take the 3 troops. Obviously, I'm going to take the 3 troops. Well, I'm going to use the card.
Sure,
You're
I'm
going
gonna
to
use
use
that
the
one.
card. So you get a +1 onto France, and we each get 3 troops to distribute however we see fit.
Now, a moment. This also has...
It's Mannheim. He already controls
he
it.
already gets
Yeah.
it. All right. Sorry.
No worries.
I was powering.
Okay. And I've got
Now-
my +1 marker for next
Yep.
time I draw.
While Edward is allocating his troops, I'll briefly describe the aspects of the game that are absent in the introductory phase. In the introductory game, there is no politics phase. All of this stuff with the politics and the cards and all of this does not happen. This Flanders map, this entire side of the map,
Doesn't exist.
does not happen in the introductory phase. Neither does winter scoring. The kind of overtime rules, effectively, is what winter scoring is. There's different victory conditions for when you're only playing the Bohemia map. France plays differently, as they don't have half their troops. And there's other special rules, but generally speaking, the introductory game is just as it is described. So, if you've
Hussars?
allocated your troops...
Yep,
you
no,
get
yeah,
to place
yeah. So
Hussars.
Hussars, that's what I'm looking at. So this one's coming back in. So I'm looking at this cat who, if I place it here, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's out of supply.
So I'd be paying some to remain in supply.
So he's going to be paying 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4.
That's
So at least there's that.
4
I'll take
pieces?
it.
Yeah,
I'll take
absolutely.
it. This one isn't really affecting anybody. Yeah, no, because France has that. France can also use the
Yes.
Bavarian, right?
Or no, actually, I think only the Bavarian stat can use the Bavarian
Mm-hmm.
supply train.
No, okay. I mean, he's still fine here, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4. But he would be able to get in
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah.
However, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which 1, 2, 3,
He's
4?
in supply.
He's fine. There is one there.
Or the other
Okay.
way around.
I think the only damage that I can do, I've already
I
done.
think so too.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go.
There you go.
And now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh, yeah.
7. So no, 1, 2, 3.
Block.
So that's 6. That's about as good as
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
do for the Hussars.
Hussars.
To get them both, that's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, that's a big
I'm
deal.
very, very happy with that.
So,
Yay, Austria. All
and just
right.
note, you don't pay that until that major power's action phase.
Right.
You
Sure,
don't pay
makes
that
sense.
fee when you until you personally check your supply.
All right, so
speaking
Frussia,
of which,
or Frussia? Really, Frussia?
speaking of which,
Really?
it's France's
Really?
action stage.
Okay, France. So,
So the subsidy in the first year, France is subsidizing Bavaria.
Yep.
That is now optional.
I'm going to keep it.
okay, so how many does France
So
get with plus
France
1?
is going to get 5.
So normally 4, but he has the plus 1
Yep.
marker, which from the politics card, which now goes away. He's at
Bavaria
5.
gets 2.
2. All right.
Look at my hand quick.
Dude, if nothing else positive comes out of this game, I'm just excited about both of my Hussars, making
Doing some
hay
damage.
on the same
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. That's like Hussars go, huzzah. Terrible, I know. So, while this is an entry-level war game, I mean, this is a really
six.
well thought of game.
Yes.
It just goes to show that you can have fun. You can cut up. You can. I mean, it's
So Bavaria will pay 6.
Woo, Natalie.
That's tasty. And look what suited even is.
Oh,
I'm gonna point that out.
That's where he is.
Oh, it's where he is. Which
thought I'd point that out.
which indicates could be a bluff, but it indicates that wow, I have so many
He's one less
diamonds. Who
card.
cares? So,
But nevertheless, it's still one less.
It's
card
still
than
one
diamonds.
less 6 specifically. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. He didn't overpay. Just 1, 2, 3 stack of 2. 3 times 2 is 6.
Drinks.
I'm good now.
Okay, Brian.
I'm good. Well, got all kinds of fun options over here, I guess. All right, let's go for a little death blow action here. Oh wait, no, I misread the map. Oh, that is disappointing. That is disappointing.
What is it you're...
I was thinking...
Because he's gone.
I was thinking if I could go here and here, I could attack twice. There's no connection there.
Oh, yeah, because that would block it then. Yeah, he'd be too far away.
Yeah.
He'd be 2 away. Yep.
Okay, so instead...
Golly, I can't... Anytime I come near that, it seems,
and I thought it was me at first.
I think it might actually be me, so I'm going to stay away from that side of the table. Okay. This is what happens when I...
All right, we're still going to do...
I actually wonder if... No, it's not that end. Okay, I'm done messing with it. Go
1,
ahead.
2, 3, 4.
Okay, oh, wow.
We're gonna
double stack
throw down
versus
here.
double
Yeah.
stack.
France versus England, round, what, at this point, 23 or something?
Right, yeah, right.
And then we're going to go... Alright, so I'm out of supply right now. Or not out of supply, I'm out of country.
Yes.
So I'm going to go 1, 2, with that neat little cut around.
Yep.
I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Which is okay. He's in France, so he doesn't have to worry about supply. It was all on a main road. Good to go.
The only thing I passed through was I controlled it,
yep.
so that's good there. Over here...
There's nothing to see here. You're fine. Oh. So the Prags are gonna have a massive battle.
We're throwing down.
Oh boy.
We are throwing down. Oh, that's Bavaria.
Well, it depends which one. So yeah, that's important to point out. So this stack, even though it's France and Bavaria, whoever is on top, meaning the higher ranking general, that's whose cards he plays with. Mm-hmm. Even though France is there, it's Bavaria's hand of cards.
France is going all in this round.
Woo!
So that does technically throw
Lynn's into... Yep, totally.
In case I can make you retreat.
And then you have these 3 pieces yet to go.
You know? So we'll go 1, 2, knock that sucker out.
That's all right. He did his job.
Yeah, he did his
Excellent job.
1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So I can get Budweiser now. I cannot get this one. It's going to get a question mark.
Yep.
1, 2. Oh, don't want to do that. 3.
All right. So 2 question marks.
Yep,
We'll go here. Yep. You're
1,
fine.
2, and then we'll throw down some question marks.
Okay.
One of which for sure. Actually, no. That's not even a question mark. Oops.
It is.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, there's no road up to ends.
I get
right.
advice.
But Tabor is going to flip
That
back
one's going to
me.
flip back,
right?
no matter what. All right.
Okay, so now you are done. So it's your option to. Do you want to get the Prags in diamonds or the Austrians in spades?
Oh, right. Different hands.
Yep.
Holy
Yes.
cow. Let's start with Austria.
Bring
down
it. All right.
So
So
both in spades.
all right. So you are Bavaria 1
Yeah.
and France 3.
14.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
No, but really. Okay. All right. So I have 3 and 4 for the Austrians. You said 14?
I said 14.
I'm at 9 minus 5.
Minus 5.
Minus 5 in spades.
In space.
We'll bring it up to null.
So then that passes to me.
It does pass to you.
And you're sure that's what you want to do?
Oh,
Good
I'm
teaching
positive.
Negative 10 to you.
Okay. -7. -2 to you, sir.
-5.
-3, sir.
-1, and I'll take it.
All right. Like a champ he will.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right. So, well done. Here you go. Here, just give him. Okay.
So you're making me retreat 1.
All right.
And
One
then-
moment.
Which
One of
has
your
very
And you lose
interesting.
one.
yeah, your Bavaria or France.
Oh, yeah,
loses.
yeah,
Right.
I'm sorry.
Either or can lose it.
Yep.
Now this is a good point. We've not yet had a battle that would activate one
No.
of these battle spaces.
Go ahead and explain that while I'm thinking
I was
about
just figuring
the
we'd
debate.
wait till it happened, actually.
Yeah, the secondary way to deploy your victory counters, the way to win the game, is to have a
So that comes
victory
off.
and a battle end with an army losing 3 or more troops. That would let you place a piece of yours into the corresponding color box here at the victory mark.
Or if you force cause a general to leave the board, meaning you destroyed all of his armies, the general can come back in winter, no harm, no foul. He loses but they're going to get a victory point. And whoever you're fighting, if they have a victory point marker out here, for instance, if I had Austrian markers out here and anybody fights me, they do not get to place onto the board. Instead, they remove Austrian victory markers. So hopefully that
I
helps.
forgot what I had.
All right, so this is France versus
England.
versus the Pragmatic Army up here, both playing diamonds.
13.
15. Negative 2.
-2 to the French.
Send it back to you, -3.
I'm enjoying this because I actually get to just watch.
-7.
Oh my! Who is that? Is that King?
That's George II.
Yeah.
That's King George.
All right.
Not the King George, but I guess they're all the King George. So
Right, yeah,
this
right.
would be King George the
-7. Send it back even.
Even, eh? -8.
Ouch.
And that is the Duke of Cumberland, the other general I have present.
-1 to you.
Oh.
Negative
You
one.
gonna take that? No, I'm.
-1. So tasty. Such a small loss.
Again, this is where tactical defeats are not a bad idea. Yes, you want those victory points for the really lopsided victories, but it eats up so many cards.
-5 to you.
Giving you the chance. -1 again.
Oh. See, now I like seeing this because it's depleting
man.
France's hand over there, but it's also depleting my partner's hand.
I think I'll take a
Partner.
-1.
So, all right,
So you may retreat me 1.
all right. And here, let me have the discards.
Well,
And all I'm doing is sorting the discards into the different colors.
That's generally the best thing to do.
Yep.
And there was no... I guess... No, there wouldn't have been a question mark there. So that is it for France.
okay.
Actually, there should be a question. No, there won't be.
Because I have
Not
to
until you
leave.
leave.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Good call.
So that's France.
So one small victory, one small loss. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's that. Welcome to Maria.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So Prussia and Saxony.
All right, so first off, cards for
Yes.
Prussia.
Prussia will have 3, but is giving 1 to Saxony for the
Okay.
subsidy.
So 3, and then there. Let me have the subsidy marker.
Thus ends the subsidy for
Okay.
now.
And how many for Saxony?
1.
Rhetorical question, but you get the idea.
Yeah. The teaching game. What did I give to Saxony?
You gave them a.
Me.
I gave them one of these 2. However, Prussia got these 2, which they needed for what's about to happen. So,
I like the sounds of that.
1.
And again,
Oh, supply first.
Yeah,
Oh,
back
excuse
that
me.
up.
Thank you. Yeah.
So again,
So-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of supply that way. So he has to come through the Hussar.
Must
1,
trace
2,
supply through
3,
the Hussar.
4.
So,
I don't even know that you'll miss the 4, but that's okay.
I won't. So, I'm paying 4 to keep Schwerin in supply.
Excellent job, Hussars.
Yeah, they both did their jobs.
Yes, that was amazing,
Yeah.
dude. That was fantastic.
1. 1, 2. I guess technically it's a blue question mark.
No,
I think
it's
Or is it an Austrian question mark?
Yeah.
no. What? No, you're right. No, but well,
No, you have to keep the white
no,
marker
that
there.
to
Right.
show
Sorry,
whose it
sorry.
was.
Yeah.
Right.
So that dispels the Hussar.
Okay, all right.
I'll use my chess.
They died heroes,
the chess
though.
pinky.
There will be songs written about them for years to come.
1, 2, 3.
Well done, sneaky little bastard.
1, 2. And there's nobody here. What cards do I have? What cards does Saxony have? Who am I? A non-trivial question for the schizophrenic player. No, that's too far afield. 1, 2, which captures Prague outright.
Because I'm nowhere near it, which makes me. I feel a little dirty that Prague fell. But
What cards do I have? I just looked. Golly. You know what? Saxony can ill afford an encounter with the Hussars. 3.
all right. So your movement is complete.
Prussia and Saxony's movement is complete, and so we have a battle here in Hearts.
8.
16. Being both armies combined.
So I'm -8.
We'll see how this goes. It's convenient I can't see the laptop with any real definition. Keep those cards out of elbow room.
-2. Ooh. Maria defending the homeland.
So that's -2 to me.
There's no shame in a loss with -2.
-2.
-1. Really? You can save face that way.
The hell I can.
They're just peasants, Ash.
Seriously.
Oh, actually, the Hussars are peasants.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The other, it was one of the 4 translations in the design notes. That's minus how many to me?
1. Uno.
-4.
-3.
-1.
I'm scared to be... Well, I'm about to get 5 cards. I'll take the 1.
Okay. Now, I will retreat him the only place I can to Schoenberg. That we now check retroactive conquest. He is not within 3 of Kosel. That is now conquered. At the end of my action stage, when I have conquered all the forts in Silesia, I may offer you peace.
And go through real quick?
Sure. So, the way this works,
Oh, yeah.
and for anyone playing along at home, the Prussia annexes Silesia is rulebook section 19.1. And the way it works, if Prussia controls all fortresses in Silesia at the end of Prussia's action stage, Friedrich, excuse me.
That hand.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
If Prussia controls all the fortresses in Silesia at the end of Prussia's action stage, Friedrich may offer Austria peace. I offer you peace.
Okay. And now...
And now the rest is if Austria accepts the offer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 occur.
It can be offered in unlimited amount of times throughout the game. It can only be accepted once.
Correct.
So what are the 7 things?
So, if Austria accepts the peace offer, Silesia is now Prussian home country. And Breslau being a major fortress, that's the terminology we're missing.
There you
go. The star, Breslau becomes a major fortress for the purposes of re-entry. We haven't had that problem yet, but If pieces need to enter the map, they enter at major fortresses and only unoccupied major fortresses. So, Silesia becomes part of Prussian home country for supply purposes. Breslau is a major fortress. Austrian victory markers in Prussia are returned to the Austrian pool.
Which there are none.
Half of the Prussian victory markers are set aside. The rest are returned to the pool.
So, in other words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The one's in Austria.
Oh,
So,
so
he's only got
one.
one. Yeah.
Enemy pieces in the enemy's lands exit as quickly as they can. So any Prussian or Saxon pieces in Austria exit, vice versa for Austrian pieces in Prussia. Prussia places a victory marker in the Silesia box, and this second supply train enters the map. It is the only way in which this supply train may enter the board. Furthermore, Prussia is now neutral until Prussia's action stage after next. So for 2 seasons, Prussia is mandatorily at neutral or at peace with Austria, and then may re-enter the war thereafter. And as soon as Prussian pieces leave Prussia or Silesia, i.e. here, those set-aside conquered pool pieces are returned to the pool.
Which is just only one.
It's really just for winter scoring purposes.
Right.
So, I, Friedrich, being the great and gracious, offer you, Maria, peace. So that you may focus on France, which, by the way, is what your pragmatic allies really want you to be doing, is focusing on the hated French.
It does free me up here to stop worrying about the north side. But doing so, I feel like gives Prussia...
Basically, they get to build up for a couple turns. Is what happens.
Right. A very gracious offer, but the kingdom of Austria will say thank you, but no thank you.
All right, so be it.
All right. So that's the end of Prussia.
So now...
or their turn.
Yeah, Prussia's action phase.
All right, so Austria, 5 cards.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was helpful. All right, we needed to restock after
How many
that.
is pragmatic yet?
3, please.
Thank you. I keep forgetting about them.
That's fine.
They're so far away.
All right, so step 1 is definitely going to be 1. Let me see where that is. All right, 2,
okay,
which that will then turn, because that's nowhere near. And we'll go ahead and bring that down 1, 2 as well. I'm done over here. Prags can go ahead.
Okay. And the roads over here in Flanders get a little squirrely.
Yeah,
so
they do.
I need to
Flanders Fields.
take notice. I miss having a mustache to twirl.
Right.
That's why it takes me so long to take my turn.
Keep telling yourself that.
I will.
Man, I wish he could move 4. The reason I'm wanting to move 4 here is to be able to come here. This way I could push you that way and get him out of supply. Man. So we're going to go 1, 2... 1, 2, 3. Still have these to move. I'm in a bit of a spot of bother right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
So 1, 2, 3,
hold on,
4.
Hold on.
Of course, to go get it, I'd have to go out to supply myself to point that out.
Right.
Or potentially go out of supply.
Well, you know what? He doesn't need it right now, so we can go 1, 2 that way. And get that on the main road. So the only thing we haven't done is move the stack yet. And there's a part of me that wants to push him back. There's another one. You know what? Actually, we will. 1, 2, 3. All right, Austria's done.
Pragmatic is done as well.
All right, no battles there. So we're looking at diamonds on both sides. So you have 2, and I have 1 and 2.
I've got 7.
And I have 8. So it's -1 to you, sir.
I'll take it.
Okay. Hey.
Boy, why would I do anything else that...
It doesn't waste cards,
else,
right?
Yeah.
And if you're me, that's a benefit to be
Yeah.
able to push you where I want, which literally is one direction.
Yeah.
So
it keeps me going in the right direction.
So you lose 1.
Yes.
So, yeah, best of both worlds to where I push him back and don't have to spend cards.
Yep.
So, perfect. Okay, so that is the end of the year. So we are into turn 5. Oh, check that. We are not. Back that up. All right, we actually have the election. So hold this card, put this card right at the end. Okay, elect the emperor, which it's pretty clear how this is going to go, but go ahead and go through it quickly.
So, the pragmatic army in Saxony, if neutral or an Austrian ally, vote automatically for Austria. Don't you wish you had taken that piece?
So which one is it?
If Saxony is neutral or your ally, they vote for you.
So the only way that could have happened is if I'd been
Move
able to
the
push
politics.
that and there was no politics
cards
card
happened.
that's come out. I'm sure there are
There's
other
42s
42 that do it. Right.
Or remember, military losses for Prussia and Saxony.
Yeah.
So, Prussia and Saxony must vote either for Austria or France. France votes for France. Austria votes for Austria.
All right, so these two actually can vote either way.
Yep,
That's
just
correct.
the winner.
They actually determine the winner. So because they
They're going to break the tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5.
Interesting. You said automatically that you would vote for French because you're allied, but you're looking at this, and I'm kind of back on my heels here. Does he want to help France? Does he want to? It doesn't really give me anything because I still have a ton
Gives
of
you
work to
victory.
do. But it gives me a ton of work to do still. I can't even get out of my own corner right now.
He's only got one army over here picking things off. You're not even going to be able to get anything next turn.
I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I think I make a valid point that it should be...
For the sake of a teaching game, I'm going to use Rule Section 21, which is negotiations. Any major power may negotiate to achieve agreements. All negotiations are binding, blah, blah, blah.
The answer is no. Let me head it off at the pass because you can't extort me when I'm already losing.
Okay.
You're just going to try and, get something from me when you're already going to vote for Austria.
Well,
so it's okay.
And I'll explain. The negotiations cannot result in the exchange of TCs.
Correct. It's straight, and everything we agree to is binding.
Yeah.
But there's no reason, absolutely no reason for me to negotiate to win this when I'm already so far in the hole right now that it makes no sense.
Right.
So yeah, I appreciate the thought, but no thanks. And you're hurting yourself by voting for France.
Am I? Oh, this is hard. This is genuinely difficult. Oh, golly.
Follow your heart. Do what's best for you. Either the pragmatics or the Prussians.
Maria? Oh, golly. I think I'm going to have to vote for your husband, Francis Stephen of Lorraine, to be the new Holy Roman Emperor. No,
that's
Austria.
me. That's
That's
me.
Austria.
Yeah.
Yours would be Charles of Bavaria.
Right. There we go. So I got a victory point up there, but I'm still 5, and I can't get out of my own way over here. So
It's the right choice.
it is. It totally is the right choice, and that's unbiased. It's
It
a
really
no-brainer.
is. Yeah.
And that's the imperial election.
There we go.
So
Boom.
now we move to summer of 1742.
Which we have Spain,
Oh boy.
and we have Sardinia Piedmont.
Hot snot.
So we have Prussia, which really that's an ugly, ugly card for me. It brings this to where I'm losing 1 card. If
and
that were,
it brings Dessauer onto the board.
and it would that horrible, horrible card for me. Whereas this, pretty good to where France loses 1, but really, yes, I'm. Prussia's the bigger threat
So
right now.
Who won last combat?
The
I
last
did
battle.
right here.
You're right. Correct.
So,
Your suit. Keeping in mind, there's 2 cards out there as well.
Good call. Oh, shoot.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Those were the winners from last turn.
yeah.
Those need to be discarded.
You're right. Good call. Should have gotten rid of them earlier.
You had
All
one
right.
job.
Yep. That's a bummer. That was exciting. Let's
10, yeah.
yeah. Let's do diamonds. All I hear is. All right. Well, that was a good
Prussia.
choice then. Prussia's up first. France. Prague's. And. Hold on. All right. So this will come back to the Prussians as a bluff.
How painful.
Had to share your 2.
All right.
Not that.
So we have France winning with 7 of diamonds. The Pragmatics get 3 of diamonds, and Austria with a 2 of diamonds. So France, would you care for either of those cards?
I mean, I have to select
Yeah.
this one and activate it.
Okay. So,
Well, first
you're,
off,
you're electing to activate
yeah.
the
I'm
Spain
activating the
card.
pragmatic.
Pragmatic is going to...
Basically, be offsetting the bottom half of the card.
Yeah,
If you
I think Pragmatic has to
activate.
activate the Piedmont card.
Oh, yeah, that works out really, really well for me.
It does.
Okay, so now, really, it's going to be
Russia
2
goes
over,
one
2 over,
Yep.
and then Russia you want to
move
move.
left.
1.
So that army is now available to move out.
Okay.
I think you just move from that spot, if I
I
recall.
think
correctly.
so.
I think he
Sounds
comes
right.
on
Yeah.
right there. Right. So those are done. So these 2 are spent. This stays.
Nope, that one goes back in the hand because 2 cards were selected.
Good call. Yep.
We'll get it.
All right, Hussars.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, wait, no, that's...
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I'm hosed.
Yep, on that.
Yep. That's what I
So,
get for trying to advance.
wow, you are way... Wow.
That was a costly 1 space loss. Very costly 1 space loss.
So if we go here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. And then here, 1, 2. Well, okay. That can I see Bavaria's hand size? France has a ton of cards.
France actually only has 1 more card than Bavaria.
Oh, really? Oh, it just looks like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that would be 3. No, I gotta go that way. And here, well, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, I can't get there. Can't get there. There's not. So
I just go around that one though.
yeah.
Either
Either
way.
way, it doesn't. Well, here I'll make you go the long way. Well, hold on. That actually matters. Yeah, we'll keep it there.
Okay.
All right, cool. So there's the Hussars. France, you're up. How many cards?
I get 4 and 2. 4
And
for
you
France.
do you make the choice every season as to whether or not
I
the
think so.
subsidy continues?
I think it said I can cancel it at any time, but you'd have to look it up for sure.
Okay, so
But
4 and
I'm
2.
still going to take 4.
Okay, all right, cool. 4 for France, 2 for Bavaria.
Okay.
We're approaching the end, towards the end
Of the third deck.
of the third deck. I think it's funny. This is the least amount of chatting that's ever happened in any of the 11 streams that we've done now.
You think
and
so?
it's the first one that we have the chat on the screen.
Huh,
I think
too
it's
bad.
funny.
Well,
Oh, I thought you meant us, chat.
No,
No,
not
no.
at all. Not at all.
yeah, this has been a pretty lively game.
Yeah.
I'll find it eventually.
All right.
Oh,
I think I
so
can do
supply
this.
first.
Yes, you're right. Supply.
So-
Bavaria.
We're good
Here.
here. So it's just Bavaria. So
Which is
1,
not
2,
ju-
3,
just.
4, 5. So it's going to be a call. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 10 either way. Ouch!
Gotta play it.
10 of diamonds coming out of Bavaria's
It's either
hand.
play that one
Ouch.
card or multiple cards.
Right, and
So-
that is a huge coup by the Hussars again.
especially
they're doing their
since
job.
Wow.
there's
Yes.
a diamond right there.
Yep.
Believe me, it hurts,
That's
but it's
awesome.
got to be done. It's got to be done.
Good job, Hussars.
All right, so first things first, let's get this guy move 1, 2 to there. 1, 2, 3. Double check my hand before I do that. See if that's a smart move or not.
Oh, it's just thereafter the subsidy is optional.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
every
Any
season.
turn, France
Okay.
chooses
Oh,
not
any
to give
given
Bavaria the
season. Okay.
subsidy.
Okay.
So that's going to put that out technically. 1, 2, 3. We're just going to go right there.
All right. And
now over here?
That side. Okay, so here, real quick, this is going to come off
Yeah.
because it's within. But
I'm
just
just
no,
doing the
totally.
technical.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So down here, this is all France.
Not that it's come up, however, an important rule for the minor powers, Saxony and Bavaria, is that they do not receive any TCs, including subsidies, if their major fortress is enemy controlled. For Saxony, it's Dresden. For Bavaria, it's Munich. And
Munchen.
Munich.
Yes.
And
All right.
that seems like a hard goal to hit for Austria to capture those.
Roland says, "Well, if we say something
All right.
stupid, now
One,
everyone gets
2,
to see it.
3,
Stupid
4.
comments used to just go
Yeah,
unnoticed.
that's true.
1,
Is that?
2.
But
Is
not
that the point of the
stupid.
chat?
No, yeah. I mean, because I want you guys to be able
Is
to
it
interact.
stifling? That's a good point.
Yeah.
Is it
So let me
stifling
ask
to have
you.
it on the
Yeah.
screen?
Is it stifling your guys' interest in commenting? Because we don't want that. Obviously, I mean, this is more for the live as well. I mean, after the fact for the folks to learn the game, obviously. But yeah, so check
They know
in
their
on
moms
that.
are
That's-
watching.
Yeah.
They know their moms are watching. They don't want them to see.
Where was I over here? I was right here, wasn't
You
I?
were.
So
Yeah,
actually,
Diddle.
yeah. So this actually makes more sense.
Has it been working already?
Haven't seen it.
Yeah,
since.
it's a couple
Or a
of
couple
times
times.
still. It's just we'll mess with it after tomorrow.
On the back end, congrats on 1K.
Oh, did we?
You did.
Oh, awesome. We have 1,000 subscribers now. Thanks, guys.
All right, so I'm going to go
Kinda
1, 2, kill some
Oh,
hussars.
okay, good. All right, Roland
3.
was just kidding, but he brings up a good point though.
So I'm actually going to move this way and kill that hussar.
You can just ask. No, I'm fine. I'm good.
All right, so I'm just moving that guy a different way
Okay.
to get him on the major road. is what
Okay,
I'm trying
cool.
to do. All right,
And
so
of diamonds.
down here, we've had enough of you English in our French lands, and we
hello.
are going to repel you.
Oh, how about that?
Which.
And
So
is
the
that happening?
interesting. So again, I'm not hugely
Here's
experienced.
the English
in this,
hand for
okay?
anyone curious. George II is here.
But I like
Earl
seeing
of
these
Stair is
fights with the French because then it makes
Oh, yeah,
this
absolutely.
much easier to
And the
handle.
goal is to play as few cards as I can
Sure.
to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
the French out,
right,
knowing
yeah.
that I still have to defend potentially against the Austria.
So
All right, let's
which
start
fight
with the
is
little
first?
one here first.
So,
Fair enough, Dan.
Your
Fair enough.
Noye versus my Earl of Stair.
I've got
I'm 8.
8.
All right, then.
So that comes to
I
me
suppose
the
if
on
this
attacker.
0.
was
The
Boa,
tie
that
to the
might be
attacker.
So
different.
you are in spades and I'm in clubs.
Correct.
And who's it? What?
We're tied at 8.
We're both 8s
I'm
here.
in spades. He is in clubs.
So because you tied, the attacker takes the lead for the first time.
So I'm going to give you a -6.
-6. Well,
-1. And -5 back to Brian. So again, interesting to note, Brian's playing clubs because he's clubbing, whereas Ash up here north of that line, spades. So hence the different suits. That's a 0.
Even. Back to you.
Which now it switches. Even though he's the attacker, because he brought it up to even, it now goes to Ash.
and here's where
I think we just push and stay, but I don't know because battles don't end this way very often.
Yeah, that never happened before.
We'll have to look to see what happens.
Excuse me while I check the edge case.
So Dan says probably has more to do with there only being 9 on the live stream and it being a Waro as opposed to,
That's too bad. I like this.
It's out there for people to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really damn good game. A little frustrating to be Austria and to get hemmed in.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Austria. Now I've finally played all 3
3 of the
them now
factions
with this game.
Yeah.
Austria is the most frustrating to play.
It definitely,
absolute sure.
and actually, Kevin mentioned on Facebook today. He's like, "If you know how to play, how to win as Austria, let me know." And
It's tough.
it seems
And-
like it because
well,
I don't know what I could be doing different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not complaining, mind
Sure.
you. I'm just thinking out loud.
Did you figure out what's going on?
Yes.
What's
So
our tie?
if we leave it as a tie, it simply ends as a tie. No one retreats. No one loses troops.
Okay,
Oh, you
it's
haven't
like
decided
kissing
yet.
your sister.
Yeah.
You're gonna take that,
He's disgusting.
but then again, at 10 o'clock at night,
I will
on
accept
Mountain Time,
a tie.
having
A
even
push?
90-year-olds
push.
Now,
is
which just
pretty cool.
means if you don't move on your turn,
We
We
we just do it
again.
all over again.
That's exactly it.
So
There
there
you
we go.
Okay. So now let's do this one where I am in spades
Mhm.
and you are in hearts.
Correct.
And I have
There is a road in between. Yeah, there is. All right.
13.
14.
All right,
-1
so minus
to you,
1 to Brian.
sir.
Hearts versus spades.
-9.
Did it the other way. Spades versus hearts.
8, 7, 6.
3.
So 3 to you. A small.
You have 3 cards left. -6 to you.
Woo!
2 to you.
Wow.
There's no harm in that.
-6 to you. Go home, George, you silly English Knigget.
I like to play no more cards.
So minus 6. Now,
So now that comes into play finally.
it does.
So for every 3 units that you kill in a battle,
Net.
net, yes. So I've done 6 points of damage.
Right. So he gets to put
I'm gonna
two
put
markers,
two markers
up
up.
there.
And now at most you can only have
Is
2 because each, as you can see, each army only has 2 spaces available.
So France only has 3, and
That
this
was a big
reiterates why it was so important for
Yeah.
the Prussians to elect the Austrian. Who is it? Not Charles. It's
Francis.
Yes.
Thank you. Because 5.
And now
down
we're going
3.
to kill the army by retreating it 6 into the depths of France.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That was a massive loss.
That was a
now
massive
because now both of them are going to be out of supply. So a good teaching moment. Excellent job,
Yep.
pragmatic army. And by awesome
Thank
job,
you.
I mean not really, because now
Your hose.
this is on the loose to focus up here on me. Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
That is it for France.
All right. So now it is to Prussia. Prussia will take 3 cards.
1, 2, 3. No subsidy
No
this
subsidy
time.
now. Saxony will take 1. Thank you.
Okay, and we have 2 left in the third deck.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. He exerts control. 1, 2, 3. Silesia is mercifully quiet.
So, current status while he's thinking, France has 3 victory markers to go. 5 for the Prussians. It looks like 5 for the Pragmatics, but let's face it, the Pragmatics are all but out of this. At least for the foreseeable future, and Austria has 5 to go.
I can't forget old Dessauer.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm so excited he is in the map.
It's got to be feel good to finally.
In my 2 plays as Prussia, he never did enter. I'm so excited. Yeah, I just can't get to where I need to get. That's too bad.
I disagree. So, and that's a 16 stack. And I don't know. Maybe it. Is.
So y'all can see my dilemma. This is my dilemma. I don't mind telling Edward I have a dilemma. He already knows that from all of my hemming and hawing outside of stomped right across those mountains already. You know what? I think that's the right choice. 1, 2. That places a question mark on Nimburg.
Right? Yeah, I'd be afraid of those hussars as well.
They've been mighty effective.
They really have, actually.
I forgot to ask Matt how Lisboa went.
I suspect they cleared some rubble.
Yeah, I reckon they did. Rebuilt the city. So, since we know there's a fight coming,
He's fine.
He's going to be spades, I'm going to be clubs.
We'll see how this ends up.
Yep.
So,
I'll get it right there. There we go. Okay.
Prussia has finished moving, and now it is time for the fight.
Nieburg has 7.
I'll leave that there just in case. Nieburg has 7. Rutowski and Leopold together are 12.
So -5 to me.
-5 to you, sir. For Saxony.
-5. -4, sir. And the Marquis de Belle-Isle?
Marquis de Belle-Isle. That would be the
Yep.
French general there. -2 to you.
I'll take it.
All right. So I will retreat you to. Thank you.
Oh, it's got to be here. Can't
Well,
go over units. Oh, you could go north.
Could
Sorry,
go north.
sorry.
And-
I can't see that
Right.
road from here.
And so retreating, the way that retreating works is they must move away from the general that they just fought with. And they must move as far away from that general as possible. They may not re-enter cities, and the presence of other generals is no consideration.
So in other words, he couldn't move me here.
Right. He could not move there. However, I could move him here to Trubau or there to Schiltern.
Schiltern.
Schiltern. Thank you. Upside down. You know, really, either of them gets me what I want. Let's see what that does for us.
Okay. That would have been foolish to move me up here because then I have Silesia
free
up
reign.
there. Yeah. Excuse me. All right. So you're done.
Austria Pragmatic.
So, Austria, you'll get 5, and
Yep.
Pragmatic will get...
So the last 2 of that deck, and 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
And 3 for the Prags.
So, now, Pragmatic Army checks supply and finds that...
So you were not asking for peace, I take it, right?
You know, I forgot to. I just plumb forgot. Would you like me to have offered peace?
I am not you.
If we can rewind a moment. I, Friedrich the Great and Gracious, would like to offer you, Maria, peace.
Okay, so to be clear, that means all of this, everything from here up, is off limits to me.
Correct.
For a turn and a half, or for 2 turns.
Well, until I re-enter Austria.
True. Which is the earliest you can do.
At least
yes.
two more seasons.
Yeah.
Which would be through the end of the second year.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, if I do that, and I focus over here, then it leaves all of that open. I gotta leave somebody back, even so. I will accept it, though.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay.
All we wanted was a little bit of Silesia.
All right.
A little slice of Silesia.
So these 2 come
so
off
those
the
come
board.
off.
Is it rounded half, or is it
half?
that should? Okay, so one of them. So
One
they
of them-
both come off, and one goes out of
Out.
play for right now.
Yeah.
That comes back.
Yeah, you know, maybe offering peace wasn't the smartest move, but oh well. Too bad.
And
and now
these stay out there, though.
these remain, and these pieces must exit Austria
as fast as possible.
as quickly as possible.
And there's other stuff, but I'm not up there, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. All right.
And this guy comes back on the board as soon as I re-enter.
Austria.
Yeah, double check that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Austrian pieces in Prussia or Poland are transferred to the nearest Austrian city. Prussian pieces outside of... Oh, no, excuse me. No. See, that's the player aid. I would really just rather read the book. Oh, no, it's just straight up copy and pasted out of the rules. So, Prussian pieces outside of Prussia are transferred to the nearest city in Prussia.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I thought that's what happened when we did it last week.
To the nearest city in Prussia. So, there you go.
Yep.
Because Silesia is now part of Prussian homeland.
Right.
And what happens to Saxony? I thought something happened to them, too.
Saxony is still Prussia's
Okay.
minor ally, but Prussia is neutral. Thus, Saxony is neutral, not in the political
So did they move back
track
as well?
sense. Yes.
So while they're finishing this, John, it's not going to be Three Kingdoms Redux. We know that Friday's game, at least one of them, is going to be Age of Steam. Various maps, depending on player count. The Monday one, we haven't decided yet. We don't know if this is going to go another week yet. We need to wait until this game's over to then we'll decide tomorrow because everyone else has already left for the night. So we'll see about that.
It's stacked.
I don't remember what the there
don't
were
know
like
if
10,
he-
12
if he
different
must
games
return to
nominated.
Russia
So you'll know when I know.
That's a good point. I don't know. Here, let me look it up so you can take your turn.
Okay.
All right.
So, the second supply train for Prussia enters
Yep.
the map.
Okay.
I now place a victory marker on the Silesia.
Okay. All right. So we are going to go one here.
Oh, Pragmatic Army. And so, Pragmatic Army now checks their supply. Old George and Cumberland.
Oh yeah, let's
out
cover
of supply.
that real quick. So they
They're
flip
turned
over.
upside down. They immediately lose one army for each general. And
Yeah, because they are clearly more than 6 away from their supply.
I mean, it does say Austrian pieces.
or Prussian pieces move to Prussia.
I'm
the-
sorry. Yes.
And then we're going to
Oh no, here it is. Step 2.
One,
I was
two,
pretty sure this happened,
3.
Ash. If Saxony is a Prussian ally, Move the Saxony marker to the box marked S.
Wow, really?
This makes Saxony neutral. All major powers return their victory markers on Saxon fortresses to their pool.
Well, and technically, when Saxony goes neutral,
It goes to Austria.
Saxony is handed to Austria, and
Which
you
then
collect
makes sense that
TCs.
this does have to go back to
Yep.
Austria.
Oh,
So you just split the army.
awesome.
Yeah, that was unwise of me, but
That's all right.
it's
Learning
for the sake
game,
of,
no big deal.
For the sake of teaching that, and that Silesian peace, or Prussia annexing Silesia, is kind of the main strategy for Prussia to pursue.
Okay. So, done.
And that's where that Karl Emanuel card
1,
comes
2,
in handy.
3. 1, 2. Yeah, I'm good with that. And Niepern will go. Yeah. 2. Done. Up here, there's no road. Oh, there is a road over there, isn't there?
You are on the major road too right now.
And
Okay.
can I have the peace action marker from, or status marker from there? Be my action stage after next. It might just be another hourglass.
Not seeing one. Unless
Okay.
there's one in here. Here, let's just throw an S out there.
Sure.
Nice.
I'll place that on.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
You know what? Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, hold on. Hey, Prussia? Or, Prague.
Yes.
Would you mind getting him back?
Out of there?
Somewhere, just one is all he's got to go, and I'd be fine with that. If you want to, and keep it off the main road, because that's what he's doing.
Okay. I'm actually going to do that instead.
Cool. That'll work. All right.
Well, I say that. You know, that's the problem.
Both of those are in range.
Are in range of his big army.
If that's what I choose to use my big army for.
Yeah. Which, hard to say. Where are you headed again?
He is coming this
That
way.
way? Could you move this guy off the
Oh,
road
yeah,
as he
yeah,
goes?
yeah.
Because you're
I'm
going
doable.
into your home
yeah,
country.
2. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I mean, if that harms you too badly, we can figure out a better
7,
solution.
8, and I'm
Sure.
good. I'm good with that.
Okay.
That'll work. And that was nowhere near any of your units, so I'm clear.
You're all good there?
So Austria's done. So once the Pragues are done, we're gonna party over here.
So
Both Madeira and Vinos might end up being a game of the month at some point, for sure. Especially since we just did the Madeira playthrough the other night, and that went over really well. People seem to really dig that. So yeah, that'd be cool.
that an out of supply general can move. Here it just says an out of supply general cannot conquer a fortress.
Yeah. So otherwise they would just sit there and die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the previous. There was
Right.
confusion.
So in other words, he is just limping back home.
Right.
However he can.
Well, not even this way. He needs to get near the supply train. Or
Well,
next turn, if he still has supply, which God willing he is, each army loses 2 units.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and hopefully he can get a supply train over by then. But I don't know if that's the way he wants to go. But
I mean, that's kind of where the roads lead. Those are really the only roads out of France. So, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And no conquering.
Yep. You already did you? Oh, you didn't move him yet.
No, I have
Right.
not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Actually, while he's going, we can actually because this is Bavaria.
Pins if there's something here or not. But it looks like he's
No,
moving.
it's
Oh, you're right.
no,
That's
it's Bavaria. Yeah, yeah. So here, so I'm diamonds, your clubs.
What's my army?
Let's see. 3 and 4 for me. I'm looking at 9.
13.
Okay, so I'm at -4. -5 to you, sir.
-3, and I'll take it.
Right.
I'm sorry, -2.
-2 for you. All right, so you lose the units. All right, so he's got to go 1. Then I want to get him in off the main road, so it's either going to be Deggendorf or Scharding. Yeah, we got to push you back here. Yep, good.
Yep.
Okay, you already got the discards. Okay, cool. So that was Austria. I'm done at that point.
So just listen to the move.
Morning, Mira.
I have to dislodge you. I think the Earl of Stair will remain and try to fight this.
Oh, I have
good
no
battle
doubt
again.
that Austria can win. I'm just.
It's hard.
I'm not good at the game, and
In our previous plays, Austria only won, being me, only because of a tactical miscalculation by Prussia, Brian.
Okay.
That captured one of his supply trains, eliminated a large army, and knocked him back.
Okay.
For 2 seasons
Completely
as
winning.
So
as
it wasn't
Austria
it wasn't
recaptured
Austria
all of
winning.
Silesia.
It was Prussia losing.
Losing, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
And I mean, it was a gamble. He announced
Sure.
it. It's a big gamble.
Yeah.
We went strength to strength.
Okay.
I'm 8.
I am 8 as well because we pushed.
We didn't do
Right.
anything.
Oh, so yeah, the fight.
Your first
The
play.
fight
well.
stays. I see Holland. So Mira, she's Dutch, and
For you.
She's like, I see. Holland is of no importance up there.
Well, you know, it's a British staging ground.
-5 to you.
-5 to me. -2 to you. There's no harm in taking
-7 to you.
Ouch. Oh my. So
Now-
he's down to 1 army.
The good thing is,
One.
for you guys, is I can't put more victory points
Yep,
up.
that's
I,
true.
I'm maxed out.
Yep. So England
I wouldn't
will
know what that is.
take that. And now you
All right,
retreat
so
England.
7 retreating, huh?
And
Oh
it
my.
must go away from that.
Right, every turn, which is convenient because I can't go.
Nope, you
Yeah.
can't. It's further
I
to
can
go
go
north.
here, but as soon as I go there, that's getting too close.
Right, so you have to go
Yeah,
north.
so I have to go north. So
7.
can I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, the pragmatic army not doing so hot.
They were doing fine until just this last turn.
Yeah, they took a major loss, ended up down here, way out of supply. That's why they're upside down. And then and the pragmatic army, for all intents and purposes, is out of the game.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
So
End
where
of
we
the
at?
year.
That's the end of the year.
Politics.
Next year.
Or
move
end
our-
of the season.
move
Sorry.
our thing.
So
And actually, I think what we're going to do, just time-wise, I mean, it's 10:30.
sure.
I'll say we finish this, do winter, call it good on scoring,
Okay.
and do an abbreviated play of it tonight.
Sure.
Worst comes to worst, we could leave it set up and pick it up, or we could just call it. So
Okay.
just FYI, okay?
Let's just call it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
cool.
10:30. We'll get through this turn, get through winter.
About 11.
Well, winter, I guess, doesn't really matter. I guess, but
All right,
Other than scoring.
so here we go.
All right.
So we have Sweden surrenders, which pushes this 1 more towards neutral, and Russia 1 back that way. And then we have coup d'etat, which pushes Russia another that way.
I won last.
You did, rather convincingly.
Let's do.
Yeah, I think there's
Hearts.
plenty enough here for people
Yeah,
to understand
learn
the
the
game.
game.
Now, there's little minor things here and there, but going through the rule book, it should make total sense now.
Yep.
After watching the rules run through and the playthrough here, I think this might kind of lower the barrier to this.
Let's do hearts
Hearts.
Hearts.
for Prussia.
Okay.
France.
Prags, do you want involved in this?
You
They
can't actually.
Prags.
Oh.
Well, Prags can, but
Because they
Prags
could bank,
chooses
they
not
could play
to.
a heart and bank it
If
potentially.
Yeah, or they could play any card technically and bank
Right.
it. But yeah. Or no, you're right. It would have to be a heart. It would have to be a heart to make it.
Choose not to.
Austria plays that. All right. So here we go. We got 3 of hearts, which is Trump. We have the 6 of hearts, and Austria plays the 8 of hearts.
All right.
So Austria will take Sweden surrenders and activate it.
France will.
Well, yes, they will.
Okay.
France then has a choice.
So if you're activating it, we know then
Yeah.
Russia's coming over. Yeah, I'll activate it as well
Okay.
to
So
help my ally.
So,
Yep.
all right. So Russia comes there, and Russia comes over too, which gives
A
one additional
pragmatic
TC to Prussia.
indefinitely,
Yep.
as long as that stays here in either of those 2 spots.
Yep.
Okay. And then Prussia gets their 3 back
Right, because it wasn't used.
because it wasn't, and both cards were played.
Right.
Okay. Hussars.
Plus, I'm getting really frustrated, and I want to figure out why this
Yeah,
keeps cutting out.
that's
and
a
I know it's
bummer.
got to be frustrating for y'all. I appreciate y'all sticking it out. We actually have more now. We're up to 12.
Nice.
The later it gets. Awesome. All right. So Hussars, thank you. Which he's home now, so he is safe,
Yes.
and I can't do anything about him.
Because he's handcuffed.
And we're allies. So honestly,
And over here, I'm all home, so there's nothing to do with Hussars this turn.
the only
There's no effect. I
Yeah,
should say.
yeah. The only thing I'm really looking at here is and real quick, 1, 2, 3. This stayed because of that. This stayed.
Yes.
So we're looking at for subsequent. So we can go 4 away. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna put 1 there. Yeah, and force his hand to either leave him there or do something up here with that Hussar, and then 1, 2, 3, 4.
See, I'm surprised.
Why?
Why not there?
Because he's in his own country. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, the Hussars have 0 effect this turn, is what it boils down to.
And over here,
Yeah.
actually, we will go 1, 2. They're in their home country. Understood. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I don't want to put it right there.
Okay.
Okay, done.
France, Bavaria.
So France and Bavaria, you're up.
So 4 and 2. 4 for France.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
wake
no,
up.
I was contemplating the subsidy actually this turn, but I
4
wanna
for France.
keep it as is.
2 for Bavaria.
Okay.
So Bavaria should be very grateful for the subsidy.
Yeah, definitely this turn.
Some people think it led to the French Revolution eventually.
Oh, really?
Oh, for real? Okay.
Interesting.
Not that Louis XV presided over it, but many describe his reign as a decline in France, and this was the kickoff of it.
Very interesting. All right. See, and that's why I love a
Historical
lot of
games.
these war games,
Me too.
historical games. I mean, even something like High Treason, the Trial of Louis
Yeah.
Riel. Something I was completely ignorant about, and now all of a sudden I'm like, dude, that is a fascinating story,
Yeah.
right?
All right. Sorry to lean, but I gotta look where roads are at over here and figure out what's going on.
No worries.
So this guy can go at most 1, 2, 3.
So here, just a heads up for saying thanks for y'all sticking with us, especially through the technical issues and everything that we've been having tonight. While Brian decides on France, I'll tell you what, we're going to do a little giveaway, a little impromptu thing, and we have a copy of Paris Connection and a copy of the pretty rare, like the only way to get it is to attend HeavyCon or to, in our giveaways, the SNCF map Transcontinental United States that Tony designed. So if you're interested in getting both of those things, I'm just going to randomly draw a number here for the 13 of y'all that are still here. So that said, if you're interested in, say something in the chat and let me know, and I will track that, and we'll draw it here
All right.
at the end of the game. Okay?
So here I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, which undoes both of those.
Oh, and it's important to note there that there were pragmatic army markers here, victory markers. France doesn't get to place any
Right.
because this is their home territory. They just clear those off.
So instead, though, and split my armies. I'm gaming this. I'm gonna play as if we were still playing. I'm not gonna.
No, play.
I wasn't gonna game the system. I can game the system right now and do something I would not do if we were continuing for another year.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I will play it as is. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What would you have done?
Split and take both of these. Take this one back.
Yeah. Okay. Which you wouldn't normally do. Right?
I would not. I mean, it's not horrible facing off just against Ehrenberg with my armies. I'm not concerned in the least bit, but I do consider that a gamey move. So I'm not.
Okay. All right.
But I do get one here.
And more than 3 away, so yep.
I get that one. And I'm not going to have any fights whatsoever to make it nice and easy for the... Oh, I will move my...
supply train. Yes, totally, Mira.
Yeah,
definitely.
1, 2. Take it
And Mira, because I know you're overseas, I'm willing to pay the. We'll pay the. We'll figure out the shipping on that.
Russia.
But if you're willing to be a team player
Saxony?
and help us out,
So you get
on that, then if you're interested, so let me know in the chat.
Saxony
Yes, and
gets one.
if you want to be in the drawing for this, the 12, 13 of y'all watching, say yes.
Wow. So
and that is a new card for Saxony, which you are playing, which you can't do anything except move armies around in Saxony.
not that it matters.
Not true.
but
He
This
can
is
come
what I
this
drew.
way.
True.
Which
Good point.
or I could actually get them ready.
Yeah,
Now,
that's true.
Again, we're playing this out as if.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly.
So, oh my God, Saxony's hand. Jeez, where was this all my life? So, here, to show you. So, because of the treaty...
And the subsidies, thank you.
Right,
And
right,
the subsidies, yes.
That's a pretty good... it's pretty good hand, especially with those right there. For Saxony. Alright. So, Saxony is just going to go 1, 2, and 3. Actually, hold on. He will go 1, 2, and... Nope. 1, 2, 3. So, like that.
Yep.
So, basically, what...
If we were going one more whole year,
Yeah.
I could totally win. On
You
the
would
first-
win.
I would
think
win
so?
the
I think
spring.
so.
Absolutely. I take those two right there and I'm done. Assuming I don't lose anything else, which is entirely possible, so I shouldn't say anything.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
this one's coming off the board if I can
Protected.
help it, huh?
Protected.
Right now.
Yeah,
Right now.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
now. But
So
so
the reason I didn't move that guy.
so it's interesting to note. So there we have a treaty, and now that I own Saxony, and it looks like I will for the foreseeable future.
And you will. And that's interesting to note because after 1741, there are no politics cards to move Saxony back towards Prussia. They only move it towards Austria.
So it's an inevitable thing that they kind of
Nearly
of-
inevitable.
are going to become neutral and then probably
so
become...
Saxony is
defect.
going to come up here. He can't stay on the
Prepare.
road. He would have to come over this way to here to prepare to invade Prussia. And you can see that Prussia is lining up on Silesia to do the same.
Yeah.
Now, just so you know, neutral pieces may not leave their home country.
Yeah.
Right,
So
yeah,
you couldn't
yeah.
go there, technically, but you can go
Yeah,
there.
you can't
Fair
go
enough.
to Dessau, but you can go...
Fair enough. So I could just
to
hang
Wittenberg.
out right
Yep.
here
Yeah.
and just wait, and then boom, 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 there, and then
Yep.
All right, cool. So Saxony's done.
Okay.
He's moved.
Austria Pragmatics?
Okay, so Austria. Here we go. So, there. Okay, and this is important. Keep the cards with the what
Just to show how, I mean,
Right.
we've all been doing this, right? You know,
right to
cards
show
are with
right because it's
player
too
cards.
easy to intermix the cards. So Austria
Says the
is
guy
taking
who just got
5.
his second hand.
Well, no. Obviously, I mean, but
from the guy who's been playing 3
Frags?
hands
Yes,
until now.
3 please. Thank
All
you.
try and survive.
Thanks.
All right.
All right,
you're
so
welcome.
supply check. So the stack here is still out of supply. So,
So
they lose
now
2
they
numbers.
lose 2.
Each.
Each.
Which do they both come off the board yet?
Not yet.
Wow.
They were powerful.
That was a massive
Yeah.
fight that we did.
Yeah.
And supply wise, he's in his home country. Doesn't matter.
He's
He's-
interesting actually. 1, 2,
He's in.
3, 4, 5, 6. Because he can't go here.
Right. Can't go through enemy
Yeah,
units.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. He's out of supply. Yeah.
So Earl
1,
of
2,
Stair now
3, 4,
loses
5,
1 as
6.
well.
Yep.
That was unintended, but I'll take it.
And
Nice.
that removes him from the board.
Oh wow, that's painful.
Yeah, a little bit.
So,
yeah.
I think
the map and card art is really good. I like pretty maps. I mean, look at my geek list on BGG, the Anticipation geek list, and the Maori Wars. The map looks
Oh
unbelievable.
God, that map looks fantastic.
And this is really cool. And I'll be honest, it's pretty cool to see a bird's eye view when I'm looking at the camera view.
I mean,
of
my
it.
moves
Looks
are
really good.
almost meaningless. No. It says it can't capture fortresses.
No. That's 4, and you're off the main road.
Oh, there you go.
You can't.
Yeah, good
Yep.
call. Oh, that's right. I timed it, or I measured it on purpose. Yes.
So you could do 3, 4, and in fact you must, I think, because you have to get home is
Or
is
into
quick.
supply, yeah.
Right. So
Which you're actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're one space away from being in supply now. But supply train is also in a precarious spot between my main armies.
Immensely precarious.
wow, yeah.
See, and
So-
then on a future turn, that would be where I would do a split.
Sure.
To take out the supply train. That's totally worth it.
And I'm in bad shape too, because what I want to be able to do is I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and start,
Yeah.
coming through here.
Well, these don't matter anymore now.
Oh,
now that
well,
we've done
They're not victory points.
they're not
Oh,
victory points.
they're
They're just
not. That's
flip.
right. They're
because
strictly for
these
the
are like
election.
the neutral-ish baronies.
Oh,
kind of area.
that's right.
Ash, one thing you can remember is you can pull the supply train off and bring it on.
Redeploy it to a major fortress.
Yes, which doesn't really help your supply situation
No.
now, but it would. I mean, you would be doing it inevitably anyway.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So here, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Done. Here, the last meaningful stuff of the game. Okay, so this is hearts and clubs. So we're worried about this one. And again, I'm going to fight the battle as if we were
Absolutely.
continue, so I wouldn't go all out
Yeah.
necessarily.
And I did what I did with them because I didn't want to be
Yeah,
risking losing an
Right.
army and
Right.
preparing for next turn or next year, I should say.
So we'll actually go 1, 2, 3. That flips. So that's hearts. That's interesting, isn't it? And he would go 1, 2, 3. Which this comes off the board.
Yes.
Which basically all it does is it brings it back to here if you spend the 4 TC
Yes.
at the next
In winter,
or in winter or
the next
or
action
the
turn.
next right. So basically what I'm doing is I'm pushing it back and making sure that he cannot come
yeah.
forward
Advance.
at all.
So I can't leave home country now.
Right.
Period. Yes.
And that's why I would want to do it. Even though I can't attack him, I feel like that was a more beneficial move to be able to do so. So
If you think your hand's that weak, yeah, then it's a good move.
so now I actually can fearlessly
Yeah.
bring this up and not worry about
Well,
him bringing it.
I could do it. I'd just be going out of supply to do it. I could come get you, but I would be forcing myself out of supply for a turn.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, that'd be 4 too. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just can't. Well, why do I need to?
Because all I have to do is this, and now you're out of supply.
That's a good reason. There you go. So
And out of supply, not Hussar,
Yeah.
annoyed supply.
but that's out of your home country as well.
It's true.
So it doesn't matter if it's
But
here or if
Just
it's here.
to play it out as if we were going to the next year in
Yeah.
the next turn, right? I move before you. I move there. I buy my supply train. Now I'm in supply.
Well, yeah.
That's a fair point. Okay. God.
We'll figure it out.
So all in all, it would put you out of supply and me in it, and I would be just fine, other than spending 4 TCs.
All valid points. So I think 1, 2, 3 to where now you're going to have to fight to do it.
absolutely.
So at least there's that. That's moved. I'm done. I did. 1, 2 to do that. Okay. So there's only one battle. It's here. It's Carl and Tron. So 1 and 2. I'm at 8.
I'm at 6.
Okay, so you're at -2.
We're
Now,
both in hearts.
now,
Yep.
real quick. If he has that road. If
Yeah.
that road didn't exist, he couldn't retreat.
If he could not retreat, he is eliminated.
Blowed up. Yep.
Okay, but you can because there's a road out there. But okay, you're -2. We said
-1 to you.
-1. And where are we? Hearts. -7.
It's a lot of cards.
It is a copious amount of cards.
-5. -1. I'll take it.
Yeah. Good job. See, and that's how you're supposed to do it. That's really well done. Truly.
That is the one thing in this game that I know I've played way better than all of our previous games, was taking the small losses when possible.
FYI, that was coming next. If you get it to 0, okay, all right.
Not that I would have
What-
pushed,
yeah,
because at this point,
I have no hearts.
I didn't know that. I have this many cards.
No, I know.
You have that many
I
cards.
know,
What-
and that's
what did you
and that's
show,
why
Brian?
you did it.
Oh,
He had the
show
9
the
of hearts.
canvas.
Oh, yeah.
9 of hearts, and I had the reserve.
So here's the kicker. When I drew cards this last turn, they were all hearts. Every
Well
single
done.
one.
Worked
I mean, that's
out.
dumb luck. That's just
Worked
dumb
out.
luck.
All
Okay,
right,
so I take
so-
1 hit.
You take 1 loss,
And
and
retreat.
I retreat him. I
The
literally
only
no
place you
choice. But the important thing is 1, 2. You can't go through my unit, or can
I'm
you?
not protected now. It's not protected anyway. 1, 2, 3.
It's 3, not
Yeah.
4. So
And you
Get
can go
out!
through units. It's literally...
You can, right? Yeah. Cool.
So, and now we're to winter of 1742. We can just run the
Score.
scores
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's just do
and
it.
see how it goes. So
France
France,
at 3.
I know you're at... Oh, you have 3 again.
Yeah. Well, I
Because
just
he just
checked
knocked
one
him
out.
off.
Yeah.
Yep.
5,
Prussia is 4. 5 for Austria.
and Prague has 100.
Actually, the same 7 they had from before. So, since we're calling it mid-game,
right.
this is where the winter scoring would come in. If we were to play all 4 years and someone had not exhausted their pool, it would come down to this winter scoring.
And whoever has the lowest score,
Whoever has the lowest score wins. So,
Here, hold on. Here, I'll do it so
Sure,
they
yeah.
can see it up
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
All right. So here. So this would be 9 for France. This is 11 for Prussia, because that one still stays off the board for right now. The Pragues have 14, which and Austria 11.
So, as we saw coming, and as would have happened probably in the next couple of seasons, France wins.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a pretty fair representation of how the game went.
And how this game would have ended. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's still tough because
Without-
here's the
sure.
thing. I've only got 4 cards left to do winter for France. That's
Yeah.
only potentially a couple extra army units,
Right.
right? You know, and if I did that, then I'm starting my turn with 2 cards.
Yeah.
Plus what I get at the beginning. of the
sure, and
But-
you're first to get your cards.
turn. You know,
but-
plus a political card potentially, and then then you're looking at 1 card. You know, so it's the tough part I would have had going into another year
is now holding on to
holding.
what you
It's
got.
not trying to do these last 3. It would be holding for the entire year.
right.
It really
which,
would be my focus.
Which I don't think. But see, I feel like you have an advantage because now this is exposed.
Austria, or I think Prussia would have won.
I
Honestly.
think Prussia actually is in a better position. I mean, obviously, I would have used Saxony to come up through
You would have
here.
still need to make
Yeah.
them an ally. They're still neutral.
I've got.
Even if
Oh.
Prussia invades Austria, this is still neutral until the politics moves
Moving
over to ally.
which
Well, yeah, let's.
Yeah.
No.
Not yet.
not
No.
on the first turn.
Not
So
in spring.
interesting. So what I can say is all I'm trying to do
Sure.
is hold on because I
Survive.
don't.
For a
Although
year,
if
yeah.
I'm able to push this back, maybe I can take a few of these. Maybe I don't
It's
know.
tough.
I think
It's tough.
I feel like actually Prussia's in a really good spot, but I don't know that it's a slam dunk. Prussia would
It's
have
not.
won or France would have won.
I think what I would have tried to have done, honestly, would do the reduce French military objectives.
Yeah.
So what
1,
would
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get out of core Austria. It pulls all of these off. And it, just like the Cilicia thing, half of them come off, then this goes on. Now I've got to get 4 over.
3. Yep.
3 over. 4
Oh,
over.
and now you're...
And I'm wide open.
Yep. Because...
So it's not a guarantee because this army's still here. It's not dead. It's almost dead.
Yeah, they each probably
In
have
fact,
1 or 2.
That would probably be the thing to do. That's 2 victory points, 2 generals.
I'm not dead yet.
But you already got them.
Oh, right. I'm already maxed out. That's... Yeah.
So no, it's all about
It would still be worth knocking them out.
conquering victory points.
But it would
cities.
just be
Yeah.
blowing through the Netherlands.
And I think you could have done that.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, I would have gotten him as strong as I could have. I would have maxed him out at 8. But I feel like all that... Because I know you can't
He's
add
still
armies.
at 8. He's never lost.
Yeah.
Oh. Well...
And then this guy, they're down to... They're 13, actually. They've never lost either.
Yeah.
The only losses I've had the entire game have been over here.
Where have you been, pragmatic army?
You know, we had some really good tea.
So Maria,
Want to flip it up for the final thoughts?
yeah, let's do that. So,
Here, we'll swing around so we can
All right.
all be on camera.
I'll scoot over here a little bit. No, I'm good right here.
Okay.
all right. So while you guys are
I'm on the corner.
repositioning,
I know if
I'm on the
real quick,
corner, I'm
right.
Let me go look here. Let's see. Mike says, or Michael
this was
McCarty
my
says,
problem.
great to
Couldn't
see
get
you
more
introducing
fights
more
without
viewers and
in the
listeners than
diamonds.
Maria.
You treated
We're
me
trying.
like the diamonds.
I mean, we do
I still
say
had 'em.
18xx and
That's
war
why I was
games, so
okay
we're
sitting
trying.
here.
Yeah.
But I had
So let's see.
nothing. He fought me there. I was host.
Yeah.
I was completely and utterly host. So I'm glad he didn't on the final turn because I would have lost.
Oh,
these
good.
two.
Dan says it
And then
looks
we
really,
would've
really
been
good on
anyway.
camera. So,
Good.
all right, let
Thanks,
me go
Dan.
ahead and flip this up now so you guys can.
Oh, now it looks terrible.
Right, yeah. So Brian, who was France, and Ash, who was Prussia,
Prussia
in
and
a
the
terrible. No, you weren't the pragmatic army. You just laid down.
I was the ineffective
You
army
laid
man.
down. Okay.
It was great until what? It was spring of this year or summer of this year. That turn. It was the spring turn.
I mean, that's the thing. It was slug after slug after slug, and then one side broke.
Yep.
Which
is exactly what
kinda
happened in
how
our
it
last game too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mira says it's good to see you guys having fun playing a war game. Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
stodgy at all.
Yeah, no.
Not at all.
So,
Hold on one second.
Sure.
Let me see.
do you need to collect the
system seems
responses?
to be like an improvement over Sekigahara. I'll be honest, I've only played Seki once, and I don't know that I can make an informed. So
Haven't
can't
played
make
it,
the
so.
comparison. Hey, Kent says glad to see this. It's a favorite of the Eurogrog groups around here. May not have to buy a copy to solo before playing now. Nice, awesome.
Good.
So real quick, let's talk about the game itself. So you guys have been playing this now for 4 times. It's game
our
of the
fourth
month.
week. Our first game was like this. We only got like halfway through the game.
Okay.
We just called
A
it
learning
on
game.
score. Yeah, we
Okay.
called it on score. at the end of it.
Learning game, right?
It was
And
totally
that's
learning
kind
game.
of what it was for this,
Yeah.
right? So overall thoughts of Maria.
I think it's fantastic. I think that it's a really interesting abstraction of the tactical considerations of the time. The overlay of the suit of cards over the map is genius.
I don't know any other game that does anything like this. I think
Well,
this is
Frederick,
but
but other than that,
but
yeah.
that's its brother game basically.
It
but
makes,
yeah, it's
it makes you reconsider, there's a tactical consideration. Oh, I want this fort. I want that supply train.
but it's in
I
spades,
can't get it.
and dude, I have 2 spades. I have all these cards. I have
nothing.
2 spades.
Exactly. And I think that's a really interesting, after researching the war a little bit, it abstracts a lot of what happened in the 17th to 18th centuries with those battles where equally matched armies could just get slammed because of some tactical miscalculation or, the vagaries of the battlefield. And I think it's really, really good in kind of capturing that feel.
All right. You enjoying it?
So this is my 5th play now total
Okay.
of Maria, not counting our other half.
Yeah.
So between the two is 5 plays now. I will be honest and I'll say I'm probably good on playing this now. I'm probably done. I don't need to come back to it.
Okay. All right. Why is
I
that?
think the swingy part of it is the part I don't like. The fact that Pragmatic was done because of one battle.
Yeah.
They were done. They're out of it. They're not coming back.
I
I could
agree.
go wipe these
Yeah.
guys out and they're done because of one battle. And the same could have happened in reverse. I could have lost mine and then I would have been done.
So was that really bad play, or was it you just? I mean, you guys went at it real hard.
Oh, yeah.
And you could have taken a lesser
Sure.
defeat than what you did.
Yeah.
With the fight over
And
here.
he pushed it, and I still had like a 10 in my hand.
Yeah.
From the suit I was in at the time, so I still have one more big hit against him.
So
that's, I guess, my problem though. Is it is luck of the draw. So,
yes, yeah, fair.
I understand you can build up for a while, but you can also get caught with your pants down, where you're like, okay, I just need to get by this turn, and then suddenly you're getting attacked, and you're not prepared, and your army gets wiped out, and you're done. So that's I guess my problem is just the swinginess of it.
Okay.
Well, and after reading the design notes from Richard Savell, he actually put that in deliberately. In researching the war, he found the war was very swingy. You know, Austria was here in Bohemia, swung all the way to France, and then back again. And
That
those
would be
big
just
strategic
wild
swings,
to see those armies come over
Wouldn't
here.
it?
force
Yeah,
marching
Like,
all the way across.
What would have Bavaria done wrong to let that happen? Kind of thing. You know?
Well, if they overextend, if they
Yeah.
get carried away with their supply train,
Right.
If you're not responsible, basically
Yeah.
for your armies,
Right.
If you decide to split them, oh hey, France
Yeah.
has a really
Yeah,
good
because
hand
you
and that
did-
type thing.
You did something that I think in our plays, mostly
Austria failed to do
didn't really
was
do.
combining the armies.
Yeah, get the two big stacks. Because I think most of the time the armies would be over there kind of trying to harass the Prussia with three little one stackers, just
Right.
trying
They
to
never
keep
made
them
the
from.
hammer.
Yeah, they never made the big hammer.
Yeah.
And now, granted, you made the big hammer, but it didn't really do anything. I mean, I'm not putting you down.
No,
but it didn't
totally.
really.
No, I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't
Couldn't
break
break
out.
out.
Yeah, we
Right,
had
yeah.
the one big fight there, but I took the -1 loss. You know, so I mean that's what I tried to do better this game.
And I think
Was
you,
take the negative
you did that
ones.
marvelously.
Yeah,
I
like
think
every single battle, I'm like, okay, how can I get this
to where it's a very small loss.
right where I'm not even losing a point when I'm losing just 1 and 2
Right,
and
see,
not doing the points.
I feel like
These were the only points that got earned in all
And that's
of our
very
battles.
different from our prior
Yeah,
games.
which
Our prior
means
games,
we
pieces
all
were going
took
on,
the
coming
small
off, going
losses
on, coming
really
off.
well.
I felt like I did overextend on a couple of battles, just like thinking to myself, he can't have another, can he?
It becomes a push your luck a little
But
bit. at that point,
it very much does, and that's the interesting thing with having 4 different decks.
They can't
If
see.
you have some of this and some of that, you very well might have.
I had
A couple of
in,
tens.
in one
Yeah.
of our big fights somewhere. It might have been this one right here. I had 9, 9, 10 from the same suit. You know?
Yeah.
So that's cross
Right.
deck.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
And so, to my thinking, at least for my opinion, I would love to play Maria again. I've had 2 sittings at Prussia, 1 at Austria. 3 sittings at Prussia, 1 at Austria, and I would love to play each again. This game, I got to try a different strategy of combining the Saxon
Yes.
and Prussian armies.
Nobody had done that either.
I hadn't done that yet. I thought it was effective. I would love to play France and try some things out. So after reading the design notes, I have some questions for y'all. Do you feel like this captures the kind of political complexities of the time? He describes it almost Machiavellian. We didn't see too much political
Well, I
swings in
mean,
this game.
just on the map alone.
Sure.
I mean, it forces that to a point. I feel like with Austria being split, and
It's only
The
one
checkerboard
general,
map.
but you got to keep that general stocked and
Absolutely.
effective in
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
things.
yeah.
And,
So
I mean,
he-
you had 2 of your markers down over here,
right.
So,
So he did his job.
he did
I feel
stuff.
like, yeah. But real quick, before we go any further
Sure,
on
sure.
that, so this is only my 3rd game of Maria.
Oh, okay.
And I filled in because Amanda's sick that's why, that's why I am over here playing it as opposed to Lisboa. But I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I really enjoy it, even though Austria can be a little frustrating on trying to figure out the right way to go about breaking out and how best to focus or do I split between the 2 sides.
yeah, that's tough because you got
I mean,
the Bavarian
everything's-
hammer over here,
and
Prussia,
the Prussians
Saxon
coming
hammer.
down, and you get hemmed in. But even so, it's a puzzle I want to figure out. So I'm totally on board with playing it more. I'm okay with moving on to something else.
Sure.
But
for it to stay in-
that doesn't mean that this can't be in a regular rotation
In
on
the
a
rotation.
Saturday or
Yeah.
whatever.
Especially now that we know the rules.
Yeah, totally. And now it was funny when I was setting it up tonight, even though I haven't been playing it, I knew how to set the game up just from setting it up for you guys each week. And the board does a really good job of calling out where the starting positions are for everything. It makes it really, and the rules really, it's pretty low overhead, especially for a war game.
Yeah, I think so too. Most of the rules cover kind of the edge cases or the political complexity.
Okay. Yeah. So what else you got?
Really, that was it. The big swings, that was something that he deliberately put on. Brian just threw it out there that I was going to ask if y'all felt like it had the big swings. I do. You can
it does, but I also
push your luck and push it too far.
But exactly, I feel like you're in control of that to a point. There is random draw in that, and maybe I'm in spades. I just had a big battle in spades, or a reasonable battle to where I only have 2 more. So as Austria, if I have to wait until I get on through both of your activations again,
right.
If then I come back and but then that's how it should work. I feel like for the simple fact that you guys now know I played some spade cards. Oh, maybe you can't have more, so you come back at me there.
And I deliberately placed some armies too where I could have maybe moved a little further, but stopped, hoping to lure you guys in to where I'm powerful.
And I was doing the same thing over here. It's what you have to do.
Yeah.
So, I for the downsides of the game, it's frustrating as Austria, but
Austria is tough.
But that doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means it's tough.
You're playing the long game. You're not going to win in the first... Despite being the closest to winning at the beginning of the game...
I feel like you're the furthest from it.
Exactly.
I can't see any way that Austria wins before the 3rd or 4th year.
You probably just need to get Saxony as your ally. You need to hold out to 43. Yeah, to then harass from behind.
Right.
Harass Prussia.
Yeah. So what else do you guys not like? I mean, okay, so we heard...
The swings... the map can be frustrating to move around on. Not look at it. I mean, it's a beautiful map, but the connections sometimes can be really frustrating, especially when you're doing the supply checks, and that's usually against the Hussars. That's right. It's like, and I played Austria 2 of our 3 games, I think. So, and I get it. I understand how to use them, but boy, it's sometimes can be a little frustrating, and that's fine. It's not really. It shouldn't even be really a complaint. The swinginess. Austria is hard, and maybe again it's just the long game. So my frustration lies in with that a little bit, because I think 4 of the 5 games I've played, or 3 of the 5 games I've played as Austria.
Okay.
So that is part of my not frustration with the game, but my downside of the game a little bit. I think it's just
How about
so much
you,
Austria.
Ash?
I have very few detractions from this game. I love it. I think it is very well assembled. Occasionally we have trouble seeing over the wooden disc. Is there a road there?
Sure.
That's solved quickly enough. Right. I find the map gorgeous and functional at the same time, except, such minor things. A crease. I misread the crease as the border between 2 suits, sort it out.
Hold on. Let me, so you guys can see it real quick. Right here, you can see the difference between the line and the crease right there.
But again, that's such a minor thing. And to have made the grids for the suits any darker would have
detracted. Is that a road? I
think it is the pinnacle of its design, and I would love to play each side, 3-4 more times.
I'm inclined to agree with you. But that doesn't mean Brian's wrong.
No.
At the same time, it's just different tastes.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's the best 3-player only game that I've played, but that said, I think it does, with the schizophrenic Prussian player, Prussia and the Pragmatic Army, I feel like it does a very good job of keeping the 3 sides balanced.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
With the caveat that I feel like Austria is the hardest faction to win with, it seems, or at least as a fairly inexperienced player, this is the toughest one.
It can feel daunting.
But other than that, I think it does a really good job of making sure that somebody's not being picked on, which is a problem in a lot of 3-player
Sure,
games.
2 versus 1.
Yeah. but yeah, I totally am down for playing this a whole lot more over the upcoming, weeks, months, years. So cool. All right. So here, questions wise, let's see here. Give me 1 second. Oh, there's actually not a whole lot. Player count for Maria it says it's 2 to 3. I don't know anybody who plays this 2-player.
Yeah.
There are better choices. If you're gonna play a
2-player
Euro
war game,
a war game or a Waro, pick something else. This is a 3-player game.
There's so many of the war games that are 2-player.
Yeah, seriously. Or if you want to go Waro, you could do something like Polis.
Sure.
You could do a number of different options. So for those watching that joined late, I said if we're gonna give away a copy of Paris Connection and the expansion map for SNCF for Transcontinental Railway. So if you guys are interested, say something yes that you want to be in the drawing of the 15 or so that are watching, and I'll pull up random.org and draw a number from whatever the order that y'all spoke up. So I know Mira's in. Anyone else? Speak up. If not, it's going to be a real easy drawing. This was a lot of fun, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
This
it's a
was
bummer
blast.
we called it early, whatever, just because it's Monday night and it's 11 o'clock.
I will say, of the factions I've played, I definitely like France the most.
Interesting.
I don't know why that is, I guess, other than... obviously, Austria is tough.
Mm-hmm.
Prussia, Saxony, it's like you have all the momentum at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then it goes away.
And rightly so, yeah.
And it goes away.
Yeah, you lose steam.
Whereas France, it just feels like it's up to you to
Right.
have your momentum or your defense or, stay on your heels or whatever.
Interesting. It's more deterministic for the French.
It feels like it, at least.
For me, Prussia seems like a very static puzzle. The setup is very predictable. Well, obviously, it's static.
Yeah.
And the map in Silesia, your objectives are very clearly laid
Right,
out.
to start
and
out
how
with.
to solve that puzzle is kind of a static thing. Whereas to me, I think that Austria is more a dynamic puzzle of how you solve your puzzle depends on what your opponents do.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
And so I would say that's probably where that difficulty comes in.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick. So it looks like, unless I missed somebody, that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6? So Mira, Randall, Michael, Johan, Luke, and Dan. Anyone else? I'm going to pull up random.org while you do that.
And while he's doing that, I did a little research for tonight's game, and I pulled a couple of quotes from each of the factions. Frederick the Great for Prussia, one of his quotes: diplomacy without military might is like music without instruments.
Huh, all right.
The next is a quote from Maria Theresa of Austria. I found myself without money, without credit, without army, without experience and knowledge of my own, and finally, also without any counsel, because each one of them at first wanted to wait and see how things would develop.
Yep. Bet on the winner, right?
Yeah.
And the last, Louis XV, or Louis XV, actually has so few quotes attributed to him that I could not find any pertaining to the war. So instead is an anecdote from the Battle of Fontenoy between the French and the British. The British grenadiers came within 30 paces of the French, and the British called out to them, waving their hats, saying, "Gentlemen of the French guards, fire." And the French guards replied to them, "Gentlemen, we never fire first. Fire yourselves." And there on the battlefield, they effectively had a contest to out-gentlemanly each other before they started shooting small pieces of metal into each other.
Right, and then World War I came and ended all that.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. So there's 6 of y'all. Here we go. Random.org, 1 to 6. Number 3. Who is number 3? Mira's 1, Randall's 2, Michael's 3. So Michael, shoot us an email, contact@heavycardboard.com. And yeah, we'll get that out to you. Cool. All right. So if you guys enjoyed it, I appreciate you guys sticking with us through the technical difficulties. That's frustrating. We will get that figured out before we switch over to the next live stream that we do. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe down below. Like it. We would appreciate that. And if you enjoyed it enough to support the show, we would certainly appreciate that. Patreon.com/Heavy Cardboard. So, yeah, without further ado, I guess let's say goodnight, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Good night.